Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes!
We back to rank the top 10 small forwards in basketball. Honestly, the worst position when you look at the people.
Bro, so I'm not the only one.
It was so
I
bad, bro.
I was making my list yesterday, and I was like, this shit weak.
Because the historic small forwards are not small forwards anymore.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant hasn't played small forward since he won a championship.
LeBron James is
Same
a small
thing
forward.
since he won a championship. Those dudes are forwards now. So it's like, man, this
But
list
I will
is,
say this. Because of that, the power forward list is going to be busted.
it's going to be
Because
crazy.
you got Giannis, KD, Bron, guys like Paolo.
Zion is in
Zion.
there.
Jason Tatum.
Kawhi
Oh, yeah,
Leonard.
Tatum.
As soon as you sent
Come
the
on, man,
list
it's
through
crazy.
the players available, I was not excited at all for it. I did that quick scan. I'm like, I don't even see I was like, you try to figure out the top 10. He's like, is he top 10 though?
Yeah, no.
But I'll give you this. I will say this. I feel you on that because I felt the same way. But I also looked at the I almost said wide receiver. We so locked into football. I also looked at the wings though. And they may not be star power, but they're kind of the most value.
Yeah.
When you look at they got guys on there where you kind of you getting it's a lot of games played. It's a lot of missed games too with some guys. But a lot of these guys, we got guys that play 82 games, 74, 81. You're getting your games played, and a lot of these guys do what is required. Like MPJ. I would love to see him get to another level. Sometimes can be really one-dimensional, but he kind of giving you what you expect from him on a nightly basis. He's giving you jumbo shooting, and he's going to be lights out. Jaden McDaniels, would love to see him take a step in the scoring department. We're going to be waiting for that. But you know defensively what you're getting on a night-in, night basis. Mikal is going to be available every game and giving you some two-way ability. OG need to get more healthy. I like that about the position, but it definitely lacked that star power. I put my top two together and was like, wait.
Yeah,
He too?
Yeah, that's
He too? He too, let's go.
He ain't two on my list.
He too.
I'll tell you that much.
He too.
It's like 6 dudes on his list that played less than 60 games somehow.
Yeah, I know.
Very
There was a lot of
disappointing.
55s in there.
I'm like,
I
what is
punish
going
guys
on?
for that too. Missing games, you fall down on my list for missing games.
Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. You got to drop the mic.
I do. I know, again, the NBA season's kind of right around the corner, and we kind of think about things we take for granted while it's kind of gone. So what are the things you kind of miss about your team specifically? If you don't have anything in mind, and as you gather your thoughts, I kind of share some of the things in mind.
It's not about my favorite team, but I just miss
Basketball in general.
having something to do every night.
Yeah.
Like now we into football, but football's not every night. So I'm like, now I'm waiting to Thursday to watch some more football. Then I'm waiting to Sunday. Basketball, it's like you're going to have at least a couple really good games every single night. I ain't got nothing to say good about my favorite team, though.
You don't got nothing you miss?
Kobe White.
I knew that would probably be the answer. That's probably the right answer, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I thought you said you were gonna share something about.
I mean, he started sharing his, but at least
He cut you
for
off.
the Lakers, things I kind of miss. It's gonna sound weird, but I kind of miss that cycle that the Lakers have, where it's like the start of the season, it's like, oh, these guys can be kind of good, and then it's like, oh no, these dudes kind of suck, and then maybe they make some moves or whatever, and it's like, oh, they back on the comeback. I like that never-ending cycle.
the roller coaster of emotions that they put you through.
They always got the highs and lows, and I feel like it's always throughout the season. And all the teams have that, but the Lakers, it's always the next step. Like, they always take it over the top. All the antics, the LeBron crying because he didn't get the call. Like, I miss those on a nightly basis. And it's always usually the night game, too, for the Lakers. So that's the game usually we're all in Discord. It might be only 1 or 2 games on left, and that's the game we might be, like, locking in on or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I miss just seeing the Garden because it'd be electric, especially because they winning. It's gonna be a little different this year because we got a lot more players and a lot more bodies now. So I don't know if we're gonna have those necessary moments where it's like, look what Josh Hart just did. Like when those role players make those crazy plays, it just the guard just rallies around it.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be limited a little bit because they are now bench pieces.
I was thinking about like all our teams, and for the Knicks, that was definitely one that came to mind. I was like, y'all always got that next man up mentality, or someone just making a bigger play. And I was like, it's gonna be a little weird because y'all just one of the deepest teams, kind of like in the league now. And Tibbs is super strict with the rotation. He's like probably at least 8 deep.
Yeah.
After that, you might have to be like playing really good, or might be somebody have to get hurt.
Aside from the Knicks, though,
Yeah.
because I'm a basketball fan before I'm a Knicks fan. I miss rumors. Like I love when we have like real like the rumors we get now is like Jimmy Butler might be interested
You know
in
what's
Brooklyn
the
in
big thing now,
2025.
right? You keep the Ben Simmons things keeps popping up on my
You saw?
timeline.
Did you see what you saw? Who posted it though?
Chris
Who?
Brickley.
Chris
Chris
Brickley?
Brickley.
Yeah.
That's way like, and again, you take it with a grain of salt. 'Cause
Please
it's
take
Ben
it with a
Simmons.
Saint.
But what I'm saying is, that's way different than a random Nets page or some Ben Simmons page.
I just don't understand.
Saying,
They just
you know.
setting him up again.
They are.
Every
but
offseason is
he
somebody
got the best
setting him
look
up.
versus somebody on social media. Chris Brickley is the one working him out and seeing him. He ain't saying in previous offseasons.
The one thing that I read and I was like, okay, is that he's been just continuously playing 5-on-5. You know, a lot of the times it'll be like he's going through non-contact injury. We don't really know, but like at least he's on the court playing.
No, yeah. I just again, I'm taking it with a grain of salt because it's Ben
Right.
Simmons. I'm not here to convince nobody that he's about to have an all-star year. But the source that it's coming from is the most legitimate source I've seen since, I don't know. Every other time it's some random page that's the Brooklyn Nets or some shit like that. But we getting somebody that's actually there seeing them firsthand. So we'll see it. But yeah, just the rumors. I want some legitimate rumors. I feel like we kind of lost traction on a lot of stuff. And then secondly, I always like to see who's going to be a surprise player. I love that start of the week where somebody's spazzing and we got to figure out if that's real, if that's a hot start. That's my favorite thing. I can't wait for that part of the season when, let me think, some random team that won't make the playoffs is going to start 6-2, and we're going to be like, man, they decent.
Cam Top,
They gonna be at the
Thomas
top of the
after
power.
30.
Yeah, the Hornets is gonna start off 6-0, and it's like, man, is this? And then they'll lose 13 in a row or
Them
13
first week
out of
power
the last
rankings,
15.
you know, there's always a bad
Exactly.
team in there.
Exactly.
Somebody put together a compilation of us throwing shots at the Charlotte Hornets. And that I was like, oh my God, we giving them the love. And then he said, and then they gonna lose 13 in a row. So that's
Somebody had
added
said
to the
last
compliment.
episode I threw shots at Cleveland. I don't remember saying anything bad about Cleveland last episode.
What did we even talk about last episode?
I don't know.
We
But
talked
I
about a lot of different stuff. I don't remember Cleveland. People would just be sensitive. Even that, I don't feel like that was a shot. That's just the reality. I don't think the Hornets are going to be a playoff
No,
team.
we do. I definitely throw my shots at the Hornets.
But if they-
because I think I said everybody's gonna get drafted, even the Hornets. Like that's like a small shot at.
But
And then
that's
you
be-
pick
but that-
Malik
but-
Monk for the
But
Hornets.
is that a shot? Though?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
But
in
it
their
don't have to
history,
be.
compared to every other team, they don't have like.
Yeah, I think it's still a count as a shot. Every shot ain't got to be from.
If
half
we
court.
rank the top 75 players, did they have one?
No, they didn't.
Did they have one in consideration?
No.
So is that a shot or is that a fact?
Alonzo Mourning might
Alonzo
be in
Mourning.
the top 75.
I don't know if he was, but it sounds like a name
I
that
do
would
not
be.
think Alonzo Mourning was in top 75.
Let's find out.
We
Shout
would've
out to
seen him.
Alonzo Mourning though.
We
Huh?
would have seen him.
Oh,
at
we-
the,
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember
we
seeing
would've
him.
seen it. I don't remember seeing
at
him
the
either.
ceremony.
And I remember all of the hype about who missed. If Dwight Howard ain't make it, I don't think Alonzo Mourning made it. That's just my, we about to find out though. But I don't take those as a shot. I'm not going out of my way to say, that's just the reality. They the team that came to my mind. Take the Hornets out for Hornet fans that might get sensitive. There's going to be a non-playoff team who's going to have a good start, and then they'll lose.
He made he's number 69 on this list.
They'll lose 13 out of their 15, and then we'll lose
But even
the
then,
hype.
I don't look at Alonzo Mourning as a Hornet necessarily.
Why?
I think a lot of his great years were in Miami. He made 2 All-Star games with the Hornets. He only spent 3 years there. Most of his career is in Miami.
But
I look at him as a
the
Heat
best
player.
version of that team, he was on. That's why I kind of it's him, Larry Johnson. Because Larry Johnson played other places too. But
It was
who
one
else
more,
am I forgetting?
It was one more person.
Muggsy.
Muggsy
might
and Dale.
be.
Yeah. So.
But
and
I
then
don't know. I look at him as a Heat before I look at him as a Hornet.
He definitely associates himself with the Heat. He's going to see him with Pat sitting next to Pat Riley for sure. But the Hornets, he kind of put them on the map a little bit. Him and Larry Johnson, LJ. What you missing with your collective?
That was kind of hard to even decipher, like, because I don't really know what I missed per se. I kind of just miss going to games. I know I wasn't going all the time, but like I just miss being in arenas, like feeling the energy. And the
I will
electric-
say the last game we went to was the Courtside game, right?
Yeah, it was.
I really enjoyed that one. That was a really good game to go to.
I love going to Pfizer Forum. Pfizer Forum energy is always amazing.
Which
I've been
one is
there
that?
twice.
Bucks fan.
Milwaukee.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
We got to get you to a Portland Trailblazer game.
I do want to go to Portland.
Same. We were supposed to go, wasn't we?
For
No, we were supposed to go to
Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
For Isaiah Thomas, Zeke weekend. Before we get into our list and stuff, there's this article that got posted on Reddit. Back in 2019, NBC Sports tried to guess the top 50 players for now, which is
Okay.
always super fun to me.
I love
And
to
you said
see
2019?
from back 2019, so
Okay.
5 years in the future. So they're trying to guess now. And honestly, the list ain't that terrible. There are some major misses like Imani Bates being top 50 in the
What?
association.
Oh, wow.
Obviously,
He was the
hasn't
most hyped.
Yeah.
really played
But
much.
that's why we got to stop doing shit like that.
But no, even they predicted a lot of players that weren't in the league to be great and was right about it. So they just missed a few times. That's
Let's
all.
hear him.
They predicted that Lonzo Ball was going to be 46 in the league. If you ask Lonzo during that run, he was
The
top
best
5.
point guard?
Yeah, he's best player. They got Jared Allen at like 44, which is not that bad. That's about the right range.
Okay.
They predicted Victor Oladipo at 43. Unfortunately, not
Injuries,
that,
yeah.
but could have been. They predicted LeBron James to be at 40.
Wait, what?
But you have to think about in 2019, he's 36 years old already, right? So you
But they
don't expect the man to be 40 and still be top 10. It just never happened before. So their excerpts say he's an unprecedented athlete with his combination of size, strength, speed, and coordination. There's so much room for athleticism to slip and remain good. So they basically was like, at the age of 40, he
still gonna be
probably won't
good.
be athletic. But he'd still be great.
Say he'd still be good
Yeah.
because, I mean, top 40.
And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately for everybody, he's still crazy athletic to match that skill level and everything. Marvin Bagley at 39,
Oh,
Gary
wow.
Harris at 38,
Yeah,
James Wiseman at 37. Numbers 50 through 25 are not amazing. They did predict your boy Damian Lillard to be 33,
Okay.
which is something.
That mean he fell off.
They predicted Steph Curry at 31.
They
They
just
also-
a lot of
they
that
just-
was age.
Yeah, they predict the regression on
Because
older
these
players.
guys are kind of pushing that envelope forward. Because usually prior to this era, guys hitting that age are declining.
So where's Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant is at 29.
Okay.
And then they have D'Angelo Russell at 28. So,
So
but what
That's
gets
interesting.
2019 is All-Star D-Lo, right?
That's what the Brooklyn Nets.
Because if 2019 All-Star D-Lo,
Let me see.
I can see how they would have
that
made
that makes sense
Yeah.
timeline
I'll
wise.
see.
But now we get to the top 25 and things get
Or
pretty
it's
good.
2019 the Warriors.
Let's
But
see.
even if it was the Warriors, that's the year
2019
after making the playoff.
2019-20, he is on the Brooklyn Nets.
So boom,
There we go.
there you have it.
They
But
predicted
he also got traded to the Warriors. Oh, I think KB just said that.
25, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which is pretty
Ooh.
good
Yeah, that's
because
good.
this is right after his rookie
Yeah,
season.
2019.
So if
you
they
know.
predicted he was going to be top 25, that's pretty damn impressive. 24 is a miss, John Collins.
Oh, wow.
But y'all got to remember, John Collins averaged 20 on great
Oh,
efficiency,
we remember.
dunking over planes. He did a lot of
used to
stuff.
talk about John Collins a lot on this podcast.
That's a very big stretch. I don't know if I would ever consider him in top 20.
He was a walking double-double who shot nearly 40% from three.
Yeah, maybe I'm looking. Maybe I'm
You're
thinking.
basing it right
yeah,
now.
maybe
Yeah,
I'm thinking
it's-
too much right now.
it's hard to
yeah,
think back to
It was
2019.
2019, so that is somehow kind of a long time ago.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
Kyrie Irving, 23. Pretty good.
yeah.
Still got my boy Kai up there.
22, John Morant.
Okay.
You know,
I
not
like
bad.
That. I like that projection.
I was just thinking about it like the guys that they have in this spot, most of them are relatively right. Like Kyrie Irving is still a top 25 player in basketball. John Morant is a top 25 player in basketball. Now, this guy, number
We
21,
need to do this next episode.
try to go 5 years in the future.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton at
Didn't
21.
we do that?
I think we went way further.
Oh,
And I think we was kind of doing the landscape of the league, but actually the 50 best players trying to predict who going to decline, who going to make a jump.
yeah. I think we did best teams in like 5 years or so like that. Because that's what happened when me and you debating the Pacers and Knicks.
Pascal Siakam at 20. Kristaps Porzingis at 19. James Harden at 18. So they didn't think that James Harden regressed much because he's not an athlete necessarily like a Bron or something like that.
But neither is Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's crazy to think that James Harden.
Steph Curry probably older than him, though.
By 2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Bradley Beal at 17.
Wow.
After he had that 30-point year.
Yeah. Jaren Jackson Jr. at 16. Here's the excerpt. This kid has Chris Bosh written all over him, and he can be even better. It's odd to call him a kid when his game screams veteran. Jackson Jr. is still just 19 years old, but he already stretched the floor and blocked so many shots.
We all felt like that at one point in time.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's too far off to say that he still can. He's only 24 right now.
Chris Bosh rebound the ball.
That's a good point. Historically, Jamal Murray at 15. A little high. Little high.
Yeah. Especially. Yeah.
Super high.
De'Aaron Fox at 14. Devin Booker at 13. Jason Tatum at 12, Joel Embiid at 11, Trae Young at 10, Ben Simmons at 9.
Hey.
Oh, Ben
Hey.
Simmons.
He
at
was
9.
on pace, man.
He
All
was doing
NBA.
good,
bro.
Trae Young, though.
Trae
Young,
Trae Young was
yeah,
on pace,
Trae-
too, though.
yeah, yeah.
Trae Young was coming in, giving you almost 30 and 11.
Yeah.
Number 8, Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 7, Karl Anthony Towns.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Number 6,
I see that projection a lot.
Kawhi Leonard.
Uh-huh.
Number
Ooh.
5, Z. Number 4, Jokic. Number 3, Luka. Number 2, AD. And number 1, Giannis. Like,
Oh,
that's pretty
that's-
good,
yeah.
bro. They did a pretty damn
Number 2
good
AD?
job. So number 2, AD.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. I want to. Yeah, we should do an episode before the
You
season.
said Z?
Z's
Zion
top
was
5.
what, top 5?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I think when we do our list, it sounded like there was a sweet spot in there for like players. If that was 2019, it was like players that are like 23, 22, because they'll still be in their prime. They'll be like top 10 or whatever.
Yeah, Trae Young, Ben Simmons really did not live up to the expectations of being top 10. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Trae Young is in a lot better position than Ben Simmons.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
Here's an excerpt from the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander one. Gilgeous-Alexander is more of a traditional point guard, more of a game manager, not an explosive isolation specialist who gets buckets.
Yeah, that's exactly what
That's
his,
a credit to Shea, man.
Yeah.
that's exactly what his rookie year said.
Yeah.
That's
a
actually
credit to Shea.
crazy to
Now he's
hear.
the best ISO player in basketball,
Yes.
one of the top 3.
That's exactly how I felt about him his rookie year. Like, this dude can defend. He don't do too much. He don't make too many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Good in the pick and roll.
Yeah, everybody on the team was like Lou Will. Everybody was talking about him like, oh, he got game. Like he gonna be a star in this league one day. And this is before he was really doing anything like that.
Yeah, so it's a good list, man. It's a good list. Shout out to them at NBC Sports. Kurt Helen, he's the guy, I guess, put together the entire list by himself. So that's pretty damn
I really
impressive.
like the Cat projection. I know he ain't hit top 10, but like
Cat was
he
the
had all the
man as a
talent.
They
young
had the article where they said GMs would take, it was like so-and-so amount of GMs would take Cat over like LeBron or something.
Cat
It
was like number
Cat-
one for
Who
consecutive
was it, Joel
years.
Embiid? It was somebody else that
Who
they were
would-
picking him over.
Who you build your
GMs
team around.
Yeah, GMs pick who they would build their team around.
I mean, you
Carney
look at
Towns
him, yeah.
again.
Yeah.
He was a 5-man that could do it all offensively.
He is.
I mean, yeah.
He also got for the power forward list. It's gonna be tough, bro.
Oh yeah.
He might end up like 9 or 10 when you think about how many power forwards ain't accounted for.
He had such a good year too.
Yes,
He
he
is.
is. Maybe. I'm thinking you got Bron, you got KD, you got Tatum,
Giannis.
you got Giannis, you got Kawhi, you got Zion,
Paolo.
you got like that. He might
got
be like
Julius Randle.
6. No, he didn't play enough. I don't think.
He didn't?
Well, I don't know what this game log looked like because
He
he
might
got
not.
injured in January. So like he might be 8, 9, or 9 on the list, which is insane because he had a really good season. But that's next week. Come back next week when we do the power forwards. This week we're doing small forwards.
That's crazy how itchy we are to do the power forwards just because the small forward list is so weak.
So again, I want to remind y'all, if there's a player that you think should be top 10 and they're not in the top 10, then we might have ranked them as a shooting guard or we might rank them as a power forward. Okay, cool.
Or they just didn't make it.
Or they just didn't make it. Some people just didn't make it. It's just the reality of it. But if you're thinking about where's this top all-NBA
That's
player.
the fun part about this list is when somebody can't make it.
Did
I've
you
seen
see
it.
NLE Chopper talking about the list of the top 20?
I saw it, but I didn't see
It
it.
was so funny. He's like, he said,
Basketball?
no, this
he
is
didn't
like
make
top
the
20
top
rappers
20
of like
on-
under
20.
a certain age or whatever.
Okay.
And he's
Top
like,
20 in their 20s rappers.
he is like,
Is
man,
NLE Chopper on your brain?
No.
he said, I ain't trying to discredit nobody on this list,
team's
man.
on this
Nobody
list.
deserved to be taken off. Y'all should have made it out of 21 if y'all was gonna leave me off.
That's crazy. Who made the list?
I didn't even look at the list. I just saw him reacting to it, and I kept scrolling. Mike, you also hilarious.
What?
Quando Rondo talk about Nightbot. You be in everybody's chat.
I couldn't believe it, bro.
I feel like he was doing it.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I don't think he was doing. I don't think he was doing that on purpose. I think he real life didn't know he was talking to AI.
You could be right.
What is the purpose of Nightbot in the chat? What is,
to moderate. It's a fictional or AI moderator.
okay.
So no
Nightbot
certain
do
words.
too much though.
He said you be in everybody chat with that purple check mark.
Because sometimes I'll see in Mike chat, like, y'all have, the chat has said Mike's name 8,000 sometimes or something like that. And I'll be like, damn.
Yeah, it's just a program. This list is interesting though. The top 20 in their
Name
20s.
some, cause
Number 1 is Cardi. Number 2 is Doja Cat. Number 3 is Central
Party
C.
who? B? Playboy.
No,
No,
Playboy
Player.
Clarity.
Number 4 is Meg the
Doja
Stallion.
Cat deserved to be number 1 on that list.
5 is Yeet. 6 is Lotto. 7 is Glorilla. 8
I was
is
surprised
Yachty.
Glorilla was that high on that list.
9 is Lil
He's a
Baby.
hitmaker.
10 is Chief Keef. 11 is
Chief
Uzi.
Keef.
12 is Ken Carson. Doechii is 13.
She's dope.
These is 14.
V's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sexy Red is 15.
V's barely made it. It's like 29.
Youngboy is 16. Keem
He
17.
fell off.
D-Lo 18. Harlow 19. And then Cash Cobain 20.
Who didn't you know?
Cash Cobain.
You know Cash Cobain.
Boss man D-Lo cracking it
He
up.
make all the beats. I like
He
doing
cracking
your
that top
body.
20.
It's just Kalani. You bad just like Kalani.
I'm actually surprised. Why did it feel like Chief Keef is older?
Because he started off when he was 16.
Yeah.
He's just been in the game forever. All right.
Hey. Your Chicago card, take that hat off.
Because I don't know how old he is. I just couldn't remember how old he is.
I felt like that made him bigger than what he was. The
I
fact that he was
lit-
so young.
It
Joey
just,
Badass is 29 years old.
You said Joey Badass? Damn.
Mixtape was 1995. He was
Yeah.
our age.
He should be on the list, in my opinion. That's the only gripe I have with that list. I don't know anything else. Who's the 10th best small forward in basketball to y'all?
For me, number 10, I have Lou Dort.
Down to the Dort man.
Yeah, I love what he had, what type of season he had. Obviously, his numbers dropped because Chat was there. He's not going to score the ball at a high clip. But I think efficiency-wise, he shot the 3-ball very well. He shot it at almost 40% on 5 attempts a game. He did exactly what you needed him to do for a typical 3-and-D wing. He plays hard. He guards other team's best player every night, whether it's 1 through 4, and he gives them hell. And he shoots the ball at an efficient rate. That's all you really need from him.
Yeah, he's one of the perfect role players in basketball, especially
Yeah.
if that three-point shot is exactly what it is. It's hard to take him off the court regardless. Like, even
Yes.
OKC has all this talent now, it's going to be hard to close out a game without Lou Dort, especially if he's shooting that crazily. So I ain't mad at it. He definitely didn't make my top 10, though.
Definitely didn't make mine. I was, man, he made your list? No. Yeah.
Darrick's 10s are always very, it's
This-
Fred Van Vliet, who was your 10 last week?
Last week, let's see. I think
you're
I'm pretty
actually right. His 10s have been.
But I like that he showed love to
Me too,
somebody that
because
wouldn't make my list.
It was
I'ma be
Herb
honest.
Jones.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
be
just made him
honest.
too low.
3 guys ain't make my list.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, dang. So Lou Dort didn't really get acknowledged by me.
I want to give
We
Dort
put
some
the
love,
we put the
man.
list in the chat. I seen all the names, and I just wrote the immediate ones, and his name just wasn't one. I'm not mad at it. I mean, I don't have anything against Lou Dort. I just didn't think he was better than the guys that I put down. So my
Who didn't
10,
make it?
huh?
Who are the 3 that didn't make it? Or you want to just give your list and then tell us?
Michael Porter Jr. didn't make it.
He didn't make mine either.
RJ Barry, who I felt had a really good year after
Yeah.
the Knicks, didn't make it.
Mhm.
And then Khris Middleton, who's been a staple on
Yeah.
this list, didn't make it.
It was so weird looking at that list, and I'm like, damn. Chris was like a lock that you didn't even have to really think about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Unless you just think about the playoff version of him, you're like, oh, yeah, he deserved to be top 5 probably, but that's
At
not
10,
exactly what we do.
A guy I talked about earlier, Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels does what he does on the defensive side of the basketball. He's the guy that adds out Michael Porter Jr. for me because I just believe in what he does on a night-in-night basis, especially when it came to the playoffs. The defense that he can give you, what is he, defensive second team?
Yep.
Amazing. And I went back because I had to refresh my brain on certain things, and I watched him in the playoffs defensively and just how he was able to do just against the Nuggets in general, where he's guarding Jamal Murray, he's guarding Michael Porter Jr., he's guarding on the switch and getting holding his own against Jokic for certain possessions. He's forcing turnovers and steals and getting ant dunks out in transition. And then on top of that, in these playoffs, we had those nights that we be wanting to see from him on a little bit more consistent basis in the regular season, but I'll take it in the playoffs too, where he had 23, 25. When he is guarding the way he is, and then he's also being a shot maker from the corners and 3 because he's really elite in the corners, and he's giving you 20-plus points with the defense, Jaden McDaniels, if he take a step offensively, like I still believe he can, I've been waiting on it for the last few seasons, he's going to continue to just go up this list, and he can arguably be one of the best two-way wings in the league because he does real good in isolations. He just doesn't get a bunch because he's on a team with Ant and Karl Anthony Towns, and they don't really need that from him. But in the small opportunities he does have, he can cook. Got to be a little bit more aggressive, I think, in terms of looking for the shot, but also there's times where he can, because he's so thin, he can get kind of thrown off course by other defenders. But But I just think he's a really good player, and I just want to see the offense go up a step because I think he's too talented of an offensive player to be averaging 10 points per game. And because he doesn't really give you anything else, he's not like a high assist guy or a playmaker. Just keep knocking down them corner threes. That's vital. Keep locking up. But, yeah, I do want to see just a little bit more from him because it's there.
Before he even like necessarily needs that consistent like in between game, I feel like I think he honestly just needs to, like you said, knock down that corner shot because that's going to probably be the most available shot for him.
Oh, he knocks it down at a very elite rate. He is on corner threes.
Do you need glasses?
It's so small. It's 42%. It's so small. Look, before I zoomed in, look how it looked.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, it's valid.
Because I got to put so many in. But he shot 42% from the corner. So, yeah, just keep knocking that down. I want to see the aggression because I think him and Michael Porter Jr., when I was looking at them both, they both shoot like 1.5 free throw. If y'all don't put y'all head down,
Michael Porter Jr., I'm not expecting to shoot no free. Unless he in transition or something, Michael Porter Jr. You
he had to get fouled on the jump shot.
I mean, I understand why y'all say that, but I still think he should be a guy. He shoots the free throw too well and he's too big to not. You can't get 2 free throws a game. You can't put your head down once a game and go get 2 attempts.
Even if he is putting the ball on the floor, it's for that one dribble pull up.
I'd rather see if he had the little post up opportunity on a smaller person. And he got
that's what I don't want to see. Yeah, he's sharing the court with Jokic and Aaron Gordon. I don't want him posting up.
And Jamal Murray.
No, I'm just saying where those two guys, like, you know what I mean? Where's Aaron
They play
Gordon?
freelance ball anyway.
Yeah. Where's
Aaron
Aaron
Gordon?
Gordon?
Without the ball.
Well, they were second to last in the league in free throw attempts per game.
MPJ is not a passer either. So Aaron Gordon going to baseline, cutting, he's going to get missed. But, yeah, I don't think Michael Porter Jr. can get to the line twice a game, man.
I mean, for the Nuggets, though, they kind of only have Jokic just really probably getting to the line.
Yeah, their success makes no sense statistically. They don't attempt threes and they don't get to the free throw line, and yet they're one of the best teams in basketball every year.
Well, fourth quarter, they dominate because Jokic, him and Jamal usually do their thing. And then it's like, I don't know, they hit a lot of timely shots. It's going to be also
They do.
weird.
They are very good at shot making.
Yeah, like Jamal Murray shoots 3 free throws a game. Like, that's
pretty low for a point guard.
Especially for a guy that is attacking like he is. Like, he's not getting a whistle.
Does
I don't know if that's him
he
not
attack like you think he does? He's a guy who's
he is
going to
he is going to shoot the mid-range pull-ups.
Yeah, he love that pull-up.
So, yeah, when you have got heavy jump shooting teams like that, I mean, KCP wasn't getting to the line.
How many times does Aaron Gordon get to the line? He's their most I'm settling type of guy.
Aaron Gordon gets to the free throw line at a 3.7 a clip, similar to Jamal Murray.
Has the ball a lot less, but he get to the line.
But his dunks are like wide open because his usually lobs or dump balls from Jokic. So I could see that.
The timely shots are big though. That's something where I credit Michael Porter Jr.
They also don't give up threes either. So the fact that they don't hit a lot ain't that detrimental because they're not allowing you to get up shots.
I want to see Michael Porter Jr. on this list though. In the future, it's gonna be tough because I think a guy like RJ Barrett is going to continue to play good with the Raptors. I just want to see Michael Porter Jr. not be so one-dimensional because that's what kind of made him fall at the list. When I'm comparing him and the other guys at the bottom of my list, it's like when Michael Porter Jr. shot not falling like it did in the playoffs for certain games. There's games where Michael Porter Jr. didn't give them shit because he couldn't make a shot, and it was one of those games he shot 4 shots and played like 35 minutes. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
2 of 12, 2 of 13 is like.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna be him though.
No, it is, but I'm just saying when you're that one-dimensional.
Yeah, it's going to take away from you.
Yeah, it's just like, but when I got a guy like Jaden McDaniels, even if Jaden McDaniels is 2 of 11, I know what I'm getting defensively at the least. There's other guys who their shot might not fall.
MPJ's other thing is he's going to be rebounding the ball.
He does rebound really well.
Or maybe even block a shot.
He does rebound really well.
So
he does.
My number 10 is RJ Barrett, a.k.a. Star J Barrett. I love him so much more now he's not on the Knicks. That's just crazy how that happens.
Me too.
Now, he got to Toronto, and he just
I love OG Anunoby more. Now he's on the Knicks.
If this is maybe crazy to say, but if you discount those first 3 games of him being on the team, is he trying to acclimate himself? The last 30 games with the Toronto Raptors, it was 23 points per game, 50, 40, 60 for some reason. His free throw still won't come around, which made me think that 3-point shot maybe not as consistent if that free throw shot's not consistent. But he was so great. Putting the ball on the floor, creating for himself. And one thing about RJ Barrett is that we knew he can get to the basket. That was the whole thing about being on the Knicks. He can get there. He just sucked at finishing there. And then when he got to Toronto, he was in the 82nd percentile and finishing at the rim. But if he can do that and he also hitting his spot up threes and create for himself, sky's the limit for RJ. So I'm going to take him in my team.
Like the way he played in the Olympics, too.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the main thing. I actually have RJ on my list. He's not number 10, though. But that was the main thing that stood out is that he did struggle from the field, and then all of a sudden it just burst out to 55%. And it's just like, what could have maybe sparked that? And maybe it's a little bit more of I guess just opportunity.
He also
more
gets
of a
plus
free
3 to all attributes because he's playing in Canada.
Oh,
You
that's
know
true.
that, did you? Yeah.
No. I think he also gets another boost, too, when Drake sits courtside.
Oh, right.
Drake and Adonis in courtside plus 4 to attributes.
My
2K is going to add that.
My number 10 was Khris Middleton. So he did end up making my list. Still he's very a shell of his former self. Still pretty good, though. 16 points and still all-around game, like 5 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. And I think the only thing that did make him get that bonus was the playoff performance he did. And like I said, he is a shell of himself, but when he is playing at this type of game, he does show like that all-star level guy that we know he can be.
I can't wait to see your list.
He is getting up there in age, but probably last time he's making this list right here.
Yeah. For him to come off the injury that he did, it was a pretty good season.
Yeah.
And then to come to the playoffs and be that damn impressive with all the injuries that they dealt with, I'm not mad at him being on the list. He was one of the last cuts I had, though.
Oh, you think this might be the last time he makes it? I think if he stays healthy, he's a lock on the
I
list.
think there's going to be people that get better.
Yeah,
next season.
I agree with Mike. I look at this list and I say the same thing. Just because he's getting older, guys are getting better, and I think the Bucks don't necessarily require those type of performances that they did on a regular season basis. It's always going to be good in the playoffs, like KB was mentioning. But I think because of the health injury, because they paid him the health injury, because of the health issues over the last few seasons, it makes sense to just like hoop, stack your wins, and let him chill. I would just let him chill on ice as much as possible because you're going to need him in the playoffs. But if Giannis and Dame do what they should be doing in the regular season, carrying you through, breezing through the Eastern Conference, and y'all maintaining a top 3, top 4 seed, then, I would just want Khris Middleton to check out at 60, 65 games and be fresh for the playoffs. In a perfect world, that's not always it's easier said than done, but
I wouldn't be mad at that.
His greatest seasons, what was he averaging? About 22, 23?
I could check right now. I got Basketball Reference open.
Last year, what, 15, 16? When you look at guys,
last year he averaged 15.
Last year was 15.
Khris Middleton in his peak, he was giving you 20 points a night.
20 points. Good efficiency.
Yeah,
this
really
is
good
in,
efficiency.
This
And
is
I thought he was
2021, 2022. He was giving you 20 points a night.
What's the highest
That
of his
was
career?
it.
That was it.
He had a year where he averaged 20.9.
What's the highest assist he averaged?
Assists?
Probably 4.2.
I feel like he had a 1 over 5.
5.4.
Okay.
He did that 2 years in a row.
I feel like he's an underrated passer.
I like that. So I 25. Wait, so he was giving you a 25 and 6, 25 and 5.
Rebounds, around 5 or 6. Yeah.
Those are really good numbers for Khris Middleton. They might just dip just a
He was an
just a tad
all-star
bit.
2 years ago, 2021, 2022.
And how old is Khris Middleton, y'all?
35?
32.
32?
Yeah.
35 sounded too old.
It did sound real old.
I'm thinking about, I don't know. Why did I think? Because I just
'Cause
think about them
the
being the
head
oldest
shape.
team in basketball, and I just,
35 is
because his
crazy.
head shape is
Actually, he's
crazy.
33, actually.
The way
He's
his
30
head shape is
He's
insane.
33. He just turned 33,
Happy birthday.
36 days ago.
Chris with a K.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, Khris Middleton. Who you got at 9, D Mills?
Number 9 is where I have Franz Wagner. I thought Franz did a good job. He scored the ball well. He still gave you 20 points a night, but the three-point shot wasn't there. If the three-point shot is there, Franz is probably significantly higher on this list for me. But I think he still did do a good job of getting to the line and getting to the basket. He's very good at finishing at the rim. He's like relentless at finishing at the basket, which is one of his strongest traits that I like.
Yes.
And I just think once the three-point shooting comes along, he's a bona fide lock to be higher.
Yeah.
At 9, that's where I have Brandon Ingram.
Same.
I think Brandon Ingram had a solid season. Playmaking was off the charts. Brandon Ingram is a guy who I like a lot, but like I said about other guys on this list, 64 games is for me is not. I need more, and I think the Pelicans need more. I think this is why it's also the position that we see him in. Besides the fact of him not being kind of like these other guys, this position just has a lot of guys where you're either a star or you're a two-way like Mikal Bridges and OG. And it's going to be hard to kind of figure that out for him because he's going to have to play next to somebody, and he's not necessarily, like this catch and shoot 40% three-point shooter and his lockdown defender, even though I do think he is a solid defender. I like the season he had, though. Still scored the ball really well, came through for them, except in the playoffs where he had to come right in out of the gate. But I still think overall he had a really good year with the Pelicans, especially from a playmaking standpoint. I just can't wait to see what's next for him because the next one is going to be very critical.
Yeah, I had him at number 9 as well. When it got to these players that were in a similar tier, I kind of went with the player I would prefer to have on my team. And Brandon Ingram is just not very high on that list for me personally. I think it has something to do with like the shot diet or something like that. I can't really put my finger on why I'm not a huge fan of Brandon Ingram necessarily. Like
obviously he's not like he's not a great plug-in guy probably.
Maybe that's what it is. While some of the dudes higher than him definitely have that. I'm obviously a super effective player. Like, you don't want to give him an open shot.
I feel like that's a consistent thing with dudes that aren't really like heavily on their threes and they try to get to their spots and their sweet spots in mid-range. Because usually that takes like the extra couple dribbles versus like a pass for a quick jumper.
I mean, we did like a 10-minute segment on Brandon Ingram, and I brought up those stats about him catching and shooting versus putting it on the floor and stuff like that. Things like that matter to me when we talk about pulling hairs between the 9th best small forward and the 8th best small forward. So he ended up here, and I think with whatever the next team may be, he has the opportunity to get a lot higher on this list, given the circumstances. So he's my number 9.
Unless, they come out and something magical happening in New Orleans and they're like, hey, this is the first time we really got some buzz. We got to pay this guy. Like, we are like we here. We have to bring him back.
Not out of the world possibility. I was just,
Because, this is the first time they got a real point guard with him and DeJounte. Like,
but then what do you ever do with Trey Murphy?
I mean, if we winning, we winning. That's all that really matters.
It sounds good until you gotta write the checks out.
He's a dude that's gonna hit restricted free agency, and teams are gonna call. Are you matching that if he's your 6th man? If somebody offered Trey Murphy $28 million annually and he your 6th man, you just pigeonhole him to be your 6th man for the next 4 years. You paying $28 million for a 6th man when you already got some super expensive people on the team?
It's going to be very tough business decisions that has to be made.
No, they make the decision. They don't want that boy Brandon Ingram on the team. They just don't have any other person that wants him right now. All right, Mike, who your 9?
My 9 was R.J. Barrett. We kind of discussed him. So, again, my 8 was Brandon Ingram, who, again, I feel like he's just stuck in, like, he's stuck between, like, a rock and a hard place on this team kind of right now. And it's not even necessarily his fault. I think it's just more so that they have a bunch of people, like, around his position that deserve the minutes, rightfully so. And he's feeling like the odd man out. Still was able to put up 20 points, and I feel like he does have some of those, like, bigger, like, kind of like big-time moments where he does hit the big shot.
Without a doubt, yep.
Or he's leading them in a close game or whatever like that. And I think whoever said it made a good point where it's like it's usually either you have, like, your stars or, like, borderline stars and your two-way players. Mm-hmm. I still think Brandon Ingram is on that tier of a star versus any type of role player. So I'm putting him at that number 8 spot.
Yeah. He definitely has the responsibility of a star.
Yeah.
Like, he is, like, their
especially when Zion ain't there.
That's kind of why I have him a little bit higher than y'all. But at number 8, that's why I have Mikal Bridges. I thought Mikal had a solid year. He started off the year shooting the ball very bad. So his 37% three-point shooting actually is probably higher if he doesn't start the year shooting the way he did. Like, he literally couldn't make a shot for, like, a month or two. But then he slowly climbed that up, and he got it back to where it's respectable. But I think he's now in a situation where he gets to go back to being who he really is, and that's being a complimentary 3-and-D wing that locks up the other team's opposing guards. And honestly, now he doesn't even have to always guard the best player now. He has an OG next to him. So now it's like you have this tandem of dynamic defensive wings that can really cause a lot of hell for a lot of teams coming up.
Like it. I got Mikal higher. At 8 is where I have OG Anunoby, actually. A lot of people going to watch this and feel like it's low because I'm a Knicks fan. I love OG. It's the 50 games, man. You got to be able to be on the court. I value that. Yeah. When I'm coming to this, I let everybody make their list on what they value. I value being on the floor. No matter how good or impactful you are, if you're not able to be on the floor for your team, you can't be as impactful as you are when you're there. I do think that this dude makes the Knicks the team out east that everybody is scared of. And now they went out and let us get him. So now, hey, OG, if again next year you only want to play 65, we got Mikal Bridges, who is going to play what? 82 games.
Even 83 if he has.
So, yeah, hell yeah. There you go, D-Mills.
He don't want the 83. That means he trade.
So I definitely want to just see him play more. I mean, I can talk about OG all day. I think him coming to the Knicks, he fit in seamlessly, being able to cut and move it out the basketball, knock down a corner three. We know what he can do defensively, perimeter, interior. This dude was the real deal. When he came to the Knicks, he jolted us into being that elite team. That teams is like, oh, hold up, we got to kind of pay attention for this squad. Because at first, before him, we was a cool team. We was cool, but ain't nobody looking at the Knicks like that. They'll get popped by the 76ers. They'll get popped by the Bucks. They'll, you know what I mean? All of the elite teams going to handle them. I think when we got him, it kind of was like, oh, shit, like they could beat one of those teams and match up with them a little bit better. So I think OG, in the grand scheme of things, I'm taking him over a lot of these guys I have higher than him. But based off last season, I can't put him that high when he only played 50 games. But I do love me some OG Anunoby.
That's valid. My 8, right? 8?
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges was my 8 as well. For all the reasons Darrick said, overtaxed a little bit at the beginning of the last season with being the guy. And a lot of us didn't believe that the 27 point per game that he was after the trade deadline was really him. I think he's walking to the perfect opportunity, and he got his bag. And well, I guess he got the bag a little while ago. OG's got the bag this season. I don't really have anything negative to say about Mikal Bridges.
He don't got the bag. That's why he was able to get him.
Yeah,
he on a friendly deal.
That's why Jalen Brunson took
He
that
got a
pay cut.
bag, but if you compare it to everybody
No,
else.
it's not OG type of money.
No, it's like 20, 25 or something. It's very light. When he goes back onto the market, it's going to be a
When is
lot
that?
more than 25.
Let's see. His last year with his current contract is 2026. So he's got this season and next season at 23
That was a
and
big reason
25.
why Jalen Brunson took that pay cut, so that way they could pay him in the
Yeah,
future.
because you look at his deal compared to what everybody else is
Yeah,
getting.
OG made double the amount of money as him this year.
Man.
OG, I don't know, we wasn't taking $1 less than what he was guaranteed.
But yeah, no, Mikal Bridges, nearly the perfect role player for everything we've mentioned before. I just made a tweet a little while ago that I missed the 2020 through 2022 Phoenix Suns. Like, that team was really fun.
That was
Him,
Mikal,
Chris
yeah.
Paul, Mikal. And even Aiden back then was like a really successful, good player.
Then they had Aaron Baines, too.
They did have Aaron Baines.
that was
John Morant destroyed him on that one game winning dunk. But it was just a fun team.
Yeah, y'all was running around talking about the Aaron Baines fan club.
Yeah, I had a shirt.
They had all the clips of Mikal. He dancing with somebody like on the
little
court
kid,
side.
right?
Yeah.
What song was playing?
Nevada.
Yeah,
They
Nevada.
it was another one too that I seen. It wasn't Nevada, but it was low key more lit. And it was like I think Enjoy tweeted it or posted it where it was like this kid will probably never forget this moment.
That was a Nevada song.
That was?
Yeah.
I swear that
Him
was a
and Aiden?
different song.
Was he with Aiden?
No, it was him and it might have been Aiden.
I gotta go
and
back.
it was Campaign.
Notorious Dancer.
Now the
campaign.
Knicks have 2 great 3-point celebrations. Mikal
And then
and
this one
Jalen
with
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
And
They also got the
don't
green
forget,
animation.
I was going to say, don't
The
forget.
green
Oh,
animation.
the green, yeah. Now Dante
boy
got to find him
That boy
one.
hit that three. He be bouncing on it after he hit that three.
You
That
know
he
they
bounced
put
on
a
a three
ball.
playing like, KB, you is crazy, bro. Why does he
I ain't
always
say nothing. I ain't
just
say
Why
looked.
does he always make these smirks
I ain't
when
say
somebody
nothing.
say something?
I ain't say
Y'all
nothing.
take it. He holds his follow through and jump up and down.
He got a celebration.
Yeah.
Can't say anything around this guy.
I saw a clip of oh my God, who was it? Who's the legendary Cowboy wide receiver that do TV now?
Mike Irvin.
Yes, Michael
Yeah.
Irvin was on Cameron and Mace's show,
Mhm.
and he had 2 minutes of just moments straight.
I
where he
know they was on
talking.
his ass there.
And they was like, "Whoa, you don't let that one pass." Whoa.
What was he saying though?
Who did the Cowboys just lose against?
They just played.
Who's the running back that they played against? What'd you say?
Kamara.
Oh, he was like, yeah, Kamara he's got a history against some Cowboys. I just knew he was gonna be down their throats over and over. It's like I knew he was coming down their throats. And then they cut to Cam, and he's like, whoa. Like he's looking at his scoreboard, like. He's like, you know, geez, so we ain't gonna say it, but man,
I
that was
love when
crazy.
people go on their show because it's like, on one hand, you know how Cameron is,
Yeah.
but then on the other hand, it's like, Unc, is you serious? I knew he was gonna be going down their throat, just coming back and forth, just down these throats, and then one point. He just put it on their face at the end. I'm like, it's like, bro, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing now. And it's always an old retired player. Like,
Yep.
is always just on there just going crazy. Like, man, yeah, I was a center in high school. I used to snap it. My quarterback used to get behind me, put his hands low, and I used to just. But the secret is you got to toot it up a little. It's like, relax. Relax. You know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing.
No, they don't. They just be talking.
They just be talking.
Yeah.
So you think Michael Irvin had no idea?
No.
No, I think I agree with you on that.
I don't think he did either. I think it's just we look at it differently as like a different age group, and I think it's just become the norm for a lot of stuff.
No, it is. You see, I can't even just look at I said what I said. But
There was a time when we used to have to like whenever we did say something suspect, it didn't really mean anything. Like you just moved on.
no, we was a little bit more R-rated.
I
back
guess
then.
yeah, you're right.
It was a little bit more R-rated. We was also a lot immature, so we used to purposely say. It's funny. I know y'all don't watch the Joe Budden podcast, but when they had Maul and Rory, they was talking about like Trey Songz and like him doing a set, like a live show. And one of their best moments is Rory. They like, yeah, I don't know if I'd rather see like Chris Brown. And Rory like, what you mean? Like, I think Trey Songz, he could put together a set list. He can give me he can give me hits for 20 minutes. And they was like, and they stopped to look at. He said, relax. And now that's just an infamous
Which
thing.
one y'all going to though?
Because Joe Budden took that sound and he put it on a board. And now everything like, I think Trey Songz give me 20 minutes of hits.
Which one y'all going to see though?
Who?
Trey Songz or Chris Brown?
Mike.
Brown.
Mike,
This don't-
did you smoke before you came in?
Which one
have
is y'all
to.
seeing?
Huh?
Which one is y'all seeing?
It's like one person I'm going to see before Chris Brown, and that dude passed away years ago.
Okay. I had to make sure your head was in the right spot.
And I'm paying the money to get the photo shoot.
Oh, that was a given.
And we gonna put on uniform, I'm gonna hike him the ball. But no, like I'm seeing Michael Jackson and like Prince and them before Chris Brown. This era, it's nobody I'm seeing over Chris Brown. Is there anybody that's close? I mean, maybe Usher. Usher got the biggest competitive against Chris Brown,
Yeah.
but you talking about people now. Give me your top 5 current R&B singers. Is R&B what? It's not the same. I mean,
yeah.
I can't name a
right.
single recent Chris Brown hit though. But if he go back into that catalog, it's unmatchable.
Residuals.
I don't listen to music like that, so
turn on the radio, you gonna hear Chris Brown.
I don't turn on the radio.
No, he the hook king. The label coming to the office with their artists and be like, listen, your album coming out in 7 months. We need a hit. What are we gonna do?
How many Spotify listeners do you think Chris Brown got?
Call Chris.
A monthly?
How many monthly Spotify
18
listeners
mil.
do you think Chris
Hell
Brown
no.
got?
You gotta think about
Guesses.
because you gotta think about both genders.
I'm doing-
women
I'm
are
doing-
already playing it heavy.
330 million.
No.
He would be the most listened to. I think
that's
the most.
more to Taylor
I
Swift.
think the most
Drake
person
and
is
Taylor
like
Swift are the top two.
it's like
bro.
75.
I'm gonna say
76,
18. I'm gonna
maybe
say
a little.
18.
You
It's,
said 18.
I'll go 28.
Wait. Taylor Swift got 75 million?
I'll look at Taylor Swift right now, but it's like, yeah,
think it's no more.
like the Weeknd's the highest.
I personally would have thought Taylor Swift was getting a billion. Taylor Swift is on 24.
The Weeknd, for reference, and I was off. It's 106 million for the Weeknd, and he's like one of the top.
Okay. So my streaming is all over the place.
Where's Chris Brown?
Chris Brown is at 50 M's, so he's still getting it done.
I don't know where I
That's
was
dope.
when I first heard "Run It."
I thought
Oh,
it was gonna be more than that. I thought it
I
was more than that.
had exclusive the album. You know what I'm saying?
Man, my
like the
sister
CD.
had all the
Oh, you
posters in
had
her
the
room.
exclusive
I had the
album?
album.
Ain't that don't he got like the J?
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
give me that on that?
Yeah.
Just Take Me Down on there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you give your 8?
Yeah.
My 8 was
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram.
Okay. Before we get to 7, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Why should you bet with Caesars Sportsbook? 2 words, Caesars Rewards. Every bet brings you closer to the type of benefits only Caesars can offer. Hotel stays, VIP experiences, sports and concert tickets, and more. It's not just an app, it's an empire.
All right, Derek, hit me with your number 7.
Tell me, girl, I want to meet her. It was about 5 minutes ago.
My number 7 was OG. We already talked about him.
Okay.
My number 7 is another guy who I wanted to see on the court more, but I understand because his team wasn't all of that, but he did get paid. Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen is a guy who, again, he's a lot higher on his list if he plays his games. Player for player, he's better than a lot of these guys. I think, honestly speaking, Lauri Markkanen has become underrated in my opinion because he plays in Utah. For selfish reasons, I would love to see Lauri Markkanen play playoff basketball. I think he could be a performance riser just based off his game, the ability to play without the basketball, the size, the shooting, the versatility when it comes to offense. I would love to see him go to a team or a situation where he can play with high-level talent and be on that stage.
Yep.
He's super, super good, and we all know that. Like, I don't think it's any secret to that. But because the Utah Jazz, whether they're not making the playoffs, whether they're not going to be a nationally televised game that much, he's just not on that stage where I think the rest of the world will catch up to how good he is. For me, that makes him a little bit underrated. But when you look at how many points he scores per game, on the efficiency at the size, how he does it without the basketball.
He doesn't dribble.
He's
He's the
literally
best.
doesn't-
He's
I
the
tried to
best
make a
at
build like him
scoring.
yesterday, and I
He's the
couldn't.
best at scoring without the ball, bro.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and in the way he does it, even in the playoff setting, I feel like you can quietly be like, damn, he got 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
He got 9 boards already. It's like he's just doing it over the course of the game, so he's effortlessly.
Hella efficient, does not need to dribble. He's doing it without a real point guard, which is another plus thing. But I mean, they call his number all the time. It's not like he's just sitting in the
That's
corner
for
waiting
good
for
reason.
shots. But like he has become this jumbo scorer. So, like when he came out of college, a lot of people thought he was going to be able to score at the NBA level. Obviously, Chicago set him back for 3-4 years of his career. Then he played small forward and with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it was a struggle. And then Utah, it all just clicked where he decided, I'm only going to put the ball on the floor if I'm going to dunk on you. Other than that, I'm going to shoot over
And he
your
can do
best
that, too.
defender.
He puts people on
He
posts.
definitely do. And he continues to get like 7 pounds more of muscle every single offseason.
So as a basketball fan, selfishly, sorry, Utah, I would love to have seen him on a Sacramento Kings. You know what I mean? I would love to see him with the Warriors, a team that
It just don't sit right that he's the oldest player in the league without a playoff
without the
appearance.
playoffs. I want to see this dude in the playoffs.
But
you
he's
know?
so loyal to Utah that like that money was on the table, and he could have got that money somewhere else for sure, or somewhere near it. But he's like, man, they took a chance on me, and I became an all-star here. And,
I hope they loyal to him because Danny Ainge will trade you.
In a heartbeat.
But luckily,
if
he
it-
can't get traded all year. So
Yeah, for this 1 year,
used
you're
to
safe.
Yeah.
But he will trade you right after that year's over next offseason if it makes sense for that team.
number 7 is Friggity France.
Okay.
Franz Wagner, baby. He has come to the point where he is one of the best finishers in basketball. He's just get to the rim and finish. Like again, I talked about RJ Barrett. Getting to the rim was never a problem for RJ, but it was finishing. For Franz, it's getting to the basket with consistency and finishing through heavy contact, finishing with low shot quality, finishing. Defense is stellar. Like, you look at that roster, you're like, okay, we know Jalen Suggs is an all-defensive caliber player, but obviously it's not Jalen Suggs making him a top 3 defense by himself. It takes Paolo, it takes Franz, it takes obviously Jonathan Isaac in his 15 minutes. But Franz as a help side defender is one of the better ones in basketball, and I can only expect that to get higher. The only reason he's not higher on my list is that the three-point shot fell off. If he was the three-point shooter he was last year, he's top 5 on this list for me.
Yeah.
Because he does everything that you would want from him, even as a playmaker, even though he only averaged like 3 assists per game. If you watch those possessions and you watch the possessions that he makes as a playmaker, it's, again, one of the best on this entire list.
I'm glad you highlighted the playmaking because I thought that was a big deal for the Magic this year is that how much responsibility Paolo and Franz had kind of shared without a real true point guard. And for them to be young like that, I think that it's only going to benefit them in the future because, again, a lot of these times in this position, you're asked to do more than just one thing. And so the more you round out your game, the more value you can only become. And like I said, 28% from 3 is just crazy. So if he get that up to at least even league average, I think he's, again, probably top 5 in the league.
I just like that he's good at everything, but elite at one thing, and that's finishing at the rim.
Yeah.
And if you, again, expect that the three-point shot even gets to 34%, a league average, 35%. I don't know what else you can really say about Franz's game. Like, I know some people were skeptical about the contract that he received, but that's not even really a problem to me because I know what he has been and what he could be. And obviously they're banking more on what he could be. And that could be is an all-star.
I agree.
That's the
I
conundrum.
have him higher on my list for those reasons.
For number 7, I did have OG, and then 6 was Franz.
Okay.
So these players we kind of like discussed and talked about.
Yeah, 6 for me was Brandon Ingram. I had him a little bit higher just because I felt like he had like a all-star type responsibility for his team. He kind of handled the ball. Their primary playmaker. He still was giving you 20+ a night. Thought he deserved to be higher than OG Mikal for me personally.
What we on?
6.
6.
6 is where I have Mikal. I really do think as a basketball community, we got to start emphasizing guys who can play on a night in, night basis and play at a high level. We've seen them do it as a complimentary role player at the elite level. We've seen them do it as the face of a team with the Nets. And I'm very happy for Mikal. Looking at, like we just talked about, Lauri Markkanen, I'm very happy that he was able to have a chance to start off with the Phoenix Suns, have a high taste of success there with the playoffs and the finals, and then that kind of then go his direction, and then he had the opportunity to go to the Nets and just explore that role of, man, is there something out there greater for me? We were able to get the results from it. He did pretty well, but he's not a number one guy, and now he gets the opportunity to go back to what his natural place is, to be a high-value complimentary player and play for a winning team, where I think his value now goes back up. And
I think he's still, because I basically had the same notes as, like, the number one thing didn't really turn out to be the best, but who cares, because you could still be a really good, probably 2B or like a 3 type
yeah,
player.
as long as you're starting your role,
And I think
that's what's going to be most valuable.
that, like, the experience he had in Brooklyn, I feel like that's going to help him going forward, because with the Suns, it was like, can he take a little bit of a jump offensively? He's like, yeah, he can. He can go out there and have, well, the second half of that season when he had the Nets, it was like 25 something. It was crazy. But this year was like 20 points or anything like that. He's giving you around like 15 to 20 points while playing amazing defense. And I think he's like, you can't really ask him for much more.
You can't.
He's going to have nights where he has like 24, 25 plus.
How many shot attempts y'all think he get per game with this new Knicks team? For reference, last year in Brooklyn, he averaged 16. His last year in Phoenix, he averaged 13.
I was going to say 13, 12 or 13.
Probably 13.
12 or 13.
Because there's so many mouths to feed now.
But
like, they're deep.
It's mouths to feed, but I feel like after Jalen Brunson, it's Julius Randle, and we still don't know how his shot diet going to be, but, like, I don't think it's no true pecking order after Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Like, OG isn't, like, he's just not known for to be like a 20-plus point scorer. Mikal, I mean, he's probably might be next after Julius Randle, depending on how you look at that.
I think that's the beauty of our team, though, because, like, one night it could be OG, one night it could be Mikal. We, like you said, we don't know. Apparently, Julius Randle is extremely ready to buy into any role. We'll see how that is. Can he coexist and have value on a night where he has the fourth highest amount of shots? How do we see Julius Randle react to that? Not saying that has to be the season reality, but on a random Thursday night game, we're going against the Miami Heat, and you don't have as many shots as Mikal, OG, or Brunson. How is he going to react to that? How is his body language and his game going to look? It's going to be a big thing for us. And
he's going to buy into the defensive side of the ball too. They have like a defensive culture there.
Yeah, he won't have too much responsibility. Yeah, just go get that rebound.
I need him to get 10 boards a game
with these Hall of Fame challenges on each.
He just got to guard the big body. He got to guard the Zion and the Paolo of the
I've
world.
seen
not even OG.
On some nights, I've seen Julius Randle like terrorize teams just by bullying them with their sides, and like there's gonna be teams where it's like the perimeter is struggling. They gonna lean on Julius Randle to get some buckets on the inside.
I think Julius Randle has become underrated the way people talk about him.
I think so too.
Like obviously in the playoffs it's been shit, but like for the regular season, he was just an All-NBA player like last year. And again, they have changed their identity a little bit since then, but like he's still a really, really good basketball player.
He could be a little hub for you offensively, dribble, handoff, super strong and powerful. You get a mismatch on him.
He a good
Don't
passer.
let that jump start falling.
If he takes
he might not
shots,
like always passing, but he is a good passer.
Take 2 really bad shots away from him a game, he looks so much better.
He does.
Because the turnaround.
And the turnovers. Mike knows as a Laker fan, Julius Randle because you know he's going to get 15 boards. 15 of those boards, he going to want to push it up. He going to get out of control. The ball is up somewhere in the nosebleeds. Like, damn,
keep the body language good.
I didn't know he'll be good. He'll be good.
Number 6.
I thought we all we all not do number 6?
Oh, number 5.
That's why I got.
What was your 6?
Did I not just say OG Anunoby?
No.
OG Anunoby.
6.
That was Franz for me. Because I had Middleton.
Oh, you didn't number it again.
No, I did. I had Middleton, RJ, Ingram, OG, Franz.
No, I'm saying if you just look at the notes and the number next to it.
You don't have the number next
it's Lauri Markkanen. This is my number 5.
But we could tell you didn't number it because you're numbering it right now.
It has numbers right next to it.
My number 6 was OG Anunoby.
Who was your number 6?
My number 6 was Franz.
Okay.
Because OG Anunoby, defensive impact is like DPOY caliber. It was last year, and
it will be again this year.
It should be this year, especially with the infrastructure to continue to
it will
be better.
It will be. He ain't gonna be out there looking like Patrick Williams.
Do they have the ability to be the best? Y'all think they're going to be the best defense in the league?
No. They have the ability to. I don't think they will be, though.
No, yeah, we got some scores, too. We gonna have a perfect balance. Don't you worry your little heart, though. But we ain't gonna stress out too much about being number one.
Yeah, you don't have to be number one. Just be top 10 in both. Then you got a championship.
Hey, and that's what we gonna do, Dad. That's what we gonna do. That's what we gonna do, for sure.
Number 5?
Anything you want to say about Franz, or we moving on to 5?
We setting up about Franz. We know he's gonna be great.
5 is where I got Lauri Markkanen. We just talked about him heavily.
I love me some Lauri, man.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that he's really like changing.
That's
the game.
crazy that
Lakers.
both of y'all said that.
I got
Imagine him on the Lakers. Imagine him
Come
next to
on
Joel
now.
Embiid in the front court.
Oh.
And on the playoff stage. I want to see Lauri Markkanen in the playoffs.
I got fascination with
Unfortunate.
oversized wings. It's just like
He do too.
I look right at there.
taller than just like the average
Do
6'7",
you like yours with
6'8".
barbecue sauce dripping off of him with lemon pepper seasoning?
And he obviously plays up, too, if you need him to.
He can,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he's a
I like him
forward,
at the
really.
small forward, though.
Yeah.
I do too. It's something appealing about it. Shout out to my boy, who used to do that in our league? that Jalen?
Jalen.
Shout out to Jalen. Jalen invented putting your center at small forward and just having a big lineup.
He gonna have Bobo at the center spot.
Yup.
Chet at the power forward spot, so he got the size advantage.
And then
He
Lauri
gonna
at
have
3.
Lauri at the 3.
Ingram at the 2.
Brandon Ingram at the 2.
That's crazy.
This is how he used to play. You have to go in there and put rules in. Like,
And
bro.
2K's bad because you can't exploit it. He's just gonna win.
Yes,
You know, like because
yes.
all of them are gonna hold their own on the perimeter. So it's like
Now Brandon
do?
Ingram posting up Dante DiVincenzo and
He's
drop
talking about
stepping
he said Brandon Ingram played shooting guard 23 games. You talking about he can't play shooting guard?
up. No, that he's being dead ass. That's his response when you put a rule in there because the league complaining. And you like, bro, just put him at his position. But no, bro, look. Anyway,
he actually did play. Brandon Ingram did play a lot of shooting guard too last year.
oh, trust me, Jalen, his profile picture is Brandon Ingram on Twitter. He was gonna argue about that. And number 5, I have Franz Wagner. I have him significantly high because of everything that y'all talked about when y'all first initially brought him up. I think the 3-point shot has become too much of a conversation. It was terrible, but besides that, he was still extremely good defensively. The playmaking is off the charts. You get him going to his right hand, and he's not going to really be stopped. And then I think, Mike, you brought up a really good point with just the responsibility. He was a guy that had a lot of responsibility to do a lot of different things for them offensively, and he could use Jalen Suggs coming into his own as a real legitimate point guard to help him kind of get shots created for him and not have to always be the one creating. Again, him and Paolo take turns, and Paolo can create shots for him as well. I just think that he's going to have to make his shots, but I think the rest, them as a team, the more they can make shots as a team from the perimeter, the more easier it'll be for all of them collectively, but especially the top 2, Paolo and Franz, because of the responsibility they carry for them offensively. But you take that into the season he still had, the success that they had with the Magic as a team collectively in the playoffs. I still have to credit him for having a really, really good year, and I can't move it away because of the 3-point shot, which I do think will get back to where it needs to be, honestly speaking. But yeah, Franz is number 5 for me. Shout out to that boy. He got that bag as well. That bag gonna always make that release on the jump shot feel a little better.
Oh, hell yeah.
You should worry free. I got my money. If I miss, so what? it ain't gonna affect my bag. He might shoot 40% for 3 this year.
Ain't no pressure on those
Yeah,
shots
ain't
no
no pressure at all. Jakob.
Do you think he should still be like concerns for the Magic and they shooting problems?
Yes, because the KCP ain't finna
I
come
was
fix
gonna say
everything.
KCP not solving
He
everything.
ain't Ray Allen.
You basically banking on everybody to just be better.
Be better.
Yeah.
shooting the
Be
ball.
better.
Be better.
Their best 3-point shooter is Wendell Carter.
No, it's KCP.
He meant
Well,
Oh,
before
that was
that, yeah.
currently there.
It's like Wendell Carter and the 1 year of Jalen Suggs. Like that's not ideal, but they'll be better next season.
At least you have a consistent guy that shoots about 40%.
Will they
And
be
KCP.
top 20 in offense next year for the
Yes.
first time in 15
yeah.
years?
I said they would
it's
be top
coming.
15.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
They'll be top 15 in offense.
Coming soon.
Because you gotta see the Paolo's gonna be better. He already was really good. He's gonna be significantly better. Like he's about to be really good. now.
Imagine him trying to sell you a car. You want to get the M. I know it costs $50,000 more. I know the only thing you're getting is the X BMW X being the M being stitched into your seat. That's the only thing you're getting, but you want to get it because it's gonna feel better.
In what ways do you think Paolo will be better next season?
What was he giving you 20 points per game? I think he's gonna jump up to like 20.
What?
What was
Oh,
Paolo?
Banchero getting down 20 points.
Franz
per game?
Wagner gave you 20.
What was Paolo
He's at like
giving you?
24, 25.
Like 23.
Oh, I could see Paolo jumping up to 28, 29 points per game.
So you just switched.
28, 29?
I don't know why.
So top 3 in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
He gave
Well,
you
not
no,
top
Derek,
3.
do not-
You said
That's
28,
not-
29.
Derek,
That's top 3 in the league?
Let's reel it back. Let's reel it back.
Because you got to think about
how many 30-point scores you think we had?
We had about. So I know Shea, Luka.
It was 22.6.
He was 22 and a half to 23 points per game.
Okay.
We don't have 15 30-point scores.
No, I know. But we do have a lot of like high 28, 26 point scores.
What is it? Embiid, Shea,
If he averages, you
Luka?
said 28, 29,
Yeah.
that would be 3rd in the league. I'm sorry, 4th in the league.
Behind Embiid, Luka, Shea.
Behind Luka, Giannis, and Shea. Embiid didn't even qualify because of his lack of
because of his
games.
games.
So
But he would be 5th, essentially.
That's
Yeah, that's
regardless
still.
of what he's going to be, 29 from 23. He's going to
Okay,
be most
I didn't know he
improved
was.
player.
I didn't remember his exact numbers. It was 23.
how do y'all think
I
he
could
gets
see-
there
I could see him
How do I
jumping.
think he get where?
to 29 points per game?
I'm not saying he's going to be 29 points per game.
So 23. Let's say he's going to jump from 23 to 26. I'm projecting that there's going to be an
Okay.
offensive jump.
26
If he
will
was
have
at
him
20
top 10.
I went 25. I just wanted Paolo to take 25. I'm just saying you were crazy because if initially you said 20 points, so you all over the place. You went from 20 points, then
think
you
I was-
found out he went to 23, then you jumped all the way to 29.
Because I'm projecting a jump. If he was at 25.
But a 24 and a half is a jump.
Yeah, I know. But if he was already at 25, I'm like, oh, shit, bet he's going to jump. If he was doing that last
5
year,
more points is crazy though.
for some guys, I think his
Okay,
talent
I
is
mean,
there.
I love Paolo. I don't think he's Kevin Durant. He's the only guy that I've seen, him and Tracy McGrady, where they just like, hey, I got better, but watch this. Let me get even more better. Kevin Durant led the league in scoring his 3rd year. But that's essentially what you were saying the type of jump Paolo would be having. Except he would have been one of the top. Kevin Durant went out. So, again, you think it'll be 26 points per game?
Yeah.
KB has asked you, how does he get there? This is a Darrick and KB conversation.
26 is way more
reasonable.
reasonable. So how he's going to get there, he's going to shoot it better
Yeah.
because he's not efficient. I just can't see 29, that's all. But 26 is way more reasonable.
You know, now when we put the context around, 29 does seem like a stretch right now. But maybe in the future.
He'll get there one day.
Yeah. Start to put on a 3rd-year guy that season average.
Yeah,
29.
That's all I was
I
saying.
just want the pump the brakes on that type of jump for year 3 because even if he averages the same amount of points, which is it's a possibility. You
Yep.
know?
He could still be better.
Yeah,
Yes, he
progression's
can.
not linear. They're a talented roster.
Yeah.
So, like, if he becomes more efficient but still averages 23, that's a better season than last year, which makes it an
Especially when you
all-star
talk about
game.
more talent and you see, like, the playmaking aspect, like the playmaking jump, then you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, people
He's
can
a
get
game
significantly
manager.
better without those counter stats saying a
That's
single
why we
thing.
love context and talking basketball and not just looking at a stat sheet.
Yeah.
Shout out to the stat sheet only watchers.
Give him a
He
shot.
averaged the same amount of points, can't get better.
Did everybody get their number 5?
My 5 was that Finnish guy. Big long shotgun.
Oh, look like Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I had Lauri, too.
I might have to give me a Lauri jersey.
Who was your 5?
I got a
My
Lauri
5 is
jersey.
Lauri. Well, it was Lauri.
The jerseys suck in Utah, though.
It do.
Yeah, the black and
I
yellow.
still got
Yeah,
the
they
picture.
Black and
ass.
yellow, black and yellow.
Go get a throwback
I'm gonna
Bulls
post a
jersey.
picture of me
You
and
want my
Lauri when I
Bulls
seen him
jersey?
at the airport.
You can buy my Bulls jersey.
You know what it is?
No, I'm good.
Everything they do it big.
That jersey stinks. But they got new ones.
He smacked his lips.
They're not very good either, though.
Get the purple one with the mountain on it.
Those is clean.
Yeah.
They're cleaner than the other one. but
Y'all
they
saw
still
Sacramento
not.
bringing the old jerseys back that they used to wear when Pedro and them was there?
Yep.
I cannot wait to see how those going to look. They said
They
that
did. I had Doug Christie in the promo. He was all old.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He a coach on their team.
I would love to see more teams do that. Bring back the classics.
But they don't. They do and then they don't. Like it's
Yeah.
not a 1-to-1. They modernize it a little bit, which is
They should, because I don't
Fine.
want to see them wear them big baggy ass King jerseys from the
do.
yesterday years. De'Aaron Fox shorts at his ankles and shit.
Yeah. Bro,
But
no,
they
bring
should
that
bring
back.
it
That's
back
gonna
and
be
have
fun.
it be a part of like the Wizards jerseys.
Yeah.
That white ones that John Wall wore his rookie year. That need to actually be their jersey, not just an occasion.
maybe it just needs a throwback day. All 30 teams play in a throwback jersey
Facts.
across basketball.
I would love that. Like the Sixers and those OG jerseys. Oh man,
It's coming back, just not next
Yeah.
season. I think it's the year after, right?
I would love to see that, bro.
All right, let's get to number 4 on the list.
Number 4, that's why I have Jimmy G buckets.
Same.
KB
Number
looks
4 on
like
the list, I have Mikal Bridges.
KB
Damn.
looks like disappointed.
So who's not on your list?
I told you somebody was gonna be off.
Somebody did not make your list.
When he
if
said
he's
he
number
had
4.
R.J. Barrett, he said he had Khris
and Khris
Middleton.
Middleton.
OG, Ingram.
No, that's cool. We're gonna figure out who not on the list. But one of the top guys did not make his list.
yeah,
I had Bridges at number 4. We already kind of talked about him, but
Who'd you? Oh,
he kind of proved that he was not the number 1 option, but he can still be very good, and he's on a better team than he was last year. So he'll probably jump up a little bit.
Let's take a step back. Let's talk about Jimmy Butler being at the 4.
who's your
type of
number
season.
4?
DeMar DeRozan.
Okay.
okay. Jimmy G.
No, TZ's got erased off my list. That's why I was messing up my numbers on
Who?
DeMar.
There you go.
But
So
I know
found
where
out
he
who
is on my
won.
list. I know where he is on my list.
Jimmy.
Now,
Me and you talking about Jimmy.
we talking about Jimmy.
Well, I'll start. Jimmy
was on.
Butler. Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler. The only thing is, what's so funny?
I don't know.
I'll be saying that about Jimmy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Jimmy. It's just like you love Jimmy. The best Jimmy comes out in the playoffs. We didn't get Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. He didn't play a whole bunch of games. When he did play, he was good for the Miami Heat. It's just I feel like we have this conversation a lot with Jimmy Butler, and hopefully because of the contract situation, we get it this year where he's locked in from the get-go.
Yeah.
He's tapped into the regular season, taking it serious, not because because we want to see it, but because they need it over there. It always affects them with the seeding and have to grind their way through the back end of the playoffs and getting the play-in. And then once you survive the play-in, now you got to go against a juggernaut team of the Celtics and Bucks. And, yeah, you had the run. It was miraculous. But we just can't count on that year in and year out, especially with a team that continues to get kind of younger and younger with NBA experience. Jaime Jaquez is an older rookie, but he was a rookie. You got Jovic. He was a young guy. Those are now guys that are kind of, big contributors for y'all, and they need that veteran presence of Jimmy Butler to lean on because when it comes playoff time, he is a riser, boy. Boy, does he gets it done. And I kind of want to see that throughout the regular season, and I think the Miami Heat do. And that's just why he fell for me. Usually Jimmy Butler's etched in as a top 3, even top 2, when you look at how thin this list is. But the fact that he didn't take the regular season as serious, even though he was knocking down a 3-point shot
Yes.
on a low volume at a high
Yeah,
clip.
42%. That was 41%.
I just think his best basketball
That
comes in.
was-
My fault.
That was such a skewed number, the 42%. It was like, how many attempts was that?
2.5.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it was something crazy. I had Jimmy here at 4-2 just because I feel like we
Did
always
you say, Mikal?
that was. Oh yeah, my list is a little skewed
Right,
because
so-
You
Debo
might want
was
to sit the
off
rest of the episode
Yeah,
out.
chill out.
Because you're messing up
Go
everybody's
ahead, Jimmy.
numbers.
We talking Jimmy Butler.
Oh, for me, it was more so just like kind of some of the things you said. Jimmy, he's not the most locked in when it comes to regular season. So like it's kind of hard to put him higher when I know these other dudes are like showing up night in, night out.
Just the elite guys. Because
Yeah.
I'll still take my. I mean, he played 64
missed his-
games.
he didn't have that playoff like crazy playoff
That
thing
always boosts
that
him up.
always boosts him.
Yep.
So it was just like in his standards, it felt like a little bit of a down year for
But he's
Jimmy.
still better than the Franz Wagners of the world.
Of
but
course.
when it comes to the top,
Yeah, that's where the tier breaks.
And he's getting to the free throw line at almost 8 times a game.
Jimmy Butler way.
Yeah.
Superstar whistle. And he going to play for that goddamn free throw every single time.
but yeah, Jimmy, we want you to lock in, man. Not just us. I saw the press conference with Pat Riley too. The Miami Heat wants you to do the same thing, and I see why. Because the route that the Heat keep taking every single year, oh my gosh, I know it's exhausting. I know it's
Coming in
exhausting.
from the play-in seed.
And you got to sit up there and fake act like y'all think y'all finna win every time.
It was just crazy when Jimmy said, like, man, if I was playing against Boston, they'll be
Super
at home
crazy.
right now.
Super crazy.
He always going to talk, though.
Super crazy.
I love that he always bring that same energy though.
I love it when he's playing. I'm like Pat Riley. You can do all of that when you're playing, but it's bogus. Bogus to have Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic out there trying to back up those words. They lost game 1 and won game 2, and he was like, yeah, we're going to get them back again at home. And that Jovic and them got to go play. They got to go deal with
They
the
got to cash
Celtics.
them checks.
Yeah.
That he writing.
4 was DeMar. Obviously had another really successful season here in Chicago, but it was not as good as the previous 2. Wasn't as clutch as the previous 2. And because of that, he just fell a little bit lower on my list. I mean, you know what you're getting from DeMar DeRozan, high-value, mid-range shooter, clutch performer. But the other side of the ball, obviously lackluster for the entirety of his career at this point. Great dude, great hooper, but he's still at number 4 for me.
Mikal?
I bought his book though.
Oh, did you?
I'm like 12 pages in.
What's it called again? I forgot.
I forget the name of it.
Nah.
I'm like 12 pages in.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it too.
I told you my list messed up.
Oh, so
it would be
DeRozan
McKay.
is your 4.
It would be no. It would be go Jimmy then DeRozan. Like I said, technically I had 11 players on my
This
list.
man got my brain in the press.
Okay, I'm a
Oh, you
summarize
had
it real
11
quick.
players.
So technically I had 11 players because I had DeMar on my wrist, but for some reason it got erased. And I was looking at my numbers because it said like whatever, and I was like, let me fix this. And so I was like, oh, maybe I only had 9 players. Let me just add 10 on, and that was Khris Middleton. So technically I had 11. But DeRozan is on my list. He was number 3 on my list.
You ain't saying nothing wrong. I understand everything you said. It's just funny.
Oh, you don't.
Just know you got to
Don't
drop your list in the chat.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Graphics.
You don't have to lie. You don't understand anything.
I kind of blocked it out. I have no idea what
You
his
did
list
not
looked like.
understand
What I
it.
said wasn't hard to read at all.
Let me know if I didn't understand. You had a list of 10. DeRozan got deleted, which
Yep.
then made Middleton move up. So you essentially had 11, and that threw you off the schedule.
Yeah.
Right. I understand what he said. It was
Look, big
your
head ass.
so your number 5 is,
Mikal.
and your number 4 is Jimmy.
Number 3, Debo.
It's Debo. Okay.
his head is big as hell. That motherfucker got to put it in a custom order. He going Liz. They
Did you
like
just get your hair cut?
Yeah, I did.
Would you still want to rock the hat?
Yeah.
That's when I wear my hat, is when I don't cut hair.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, you paid $100 for the hat because they had to take 2. No, so I'm guessing we both got D-Boy at 3.
Let me just double check.
No,
I'm pretty
we
sure.
got D-Boy at 3. I hope.
No. Let's let her double check.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I got D-Boy at 3. Yeah, DeMar DeRozan, like KB said, you kind of know what you're getting with the offensive side of the basketball, the mid-range scoring. Defensively, a lot more to be desired. I don't think we're going to see anything different in Sacramento. But I will say,
I agree.
I will say, though, I do think that he deserves a little bit more credit for the year he had in Chicago because that team was so bad, especially without having
Morale
Zach
is
LaVine.
bad. Everything
morale
about
is
it
bad.
was
So I think going to Sacramento, better players. The Bulls have not had a guard like De'Aaron Fox since he's been there.
Just Lonzo Ball.
Sabonis with the double doubles. You got Keegan Murray with the floor spacing. Malik Monk. I think the team is just going to be better, and I think he'll be able to go in there and have a better fit. So I do think DeMar DeRozan is higher on my list because of all of those things he had to deal with in Chicago and still handled it pretty well.
I don't know what the numbers say, KB, but I remember you said he wasn't as clutch as he was last year.
He was still 3rd, I think.
He was 2nd in clutch player of the year last year. When the year before,
Checking you.
he was clutch player of the year 3.
He checking you.
You said he was clutch player earlier. You said he just fell off one spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So,
he
I
just
mean,
checked
it's
you,
still
right?
DeMar. He know what DeMar going to do.
I don't know what the statistics say.
KB said he watched Bull games.
I watch
You looking
every
at
Bulls
an
game.
article. That's what KB said.
He wasn't as clutch this year as last year. Prove it.
I don't know. I'm just looking at the list.
Yeah, no, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I watched the games. That's just stat sheet watcher right there. That's what that was.
I'm on your side. I go without looking because he said what he said and you said I don't know. So why you even bring it up? I don't know. I just looked at the list and it said he was.
I just wish we had the award the year before. De'Aaron
'Cause he
got
would've
it
won
because he
it.
would have won the damn
Yeah.
award.
Yeah.
He would have ran away with it.
It
It
would've
probably would
been
have been
unanimous.
unanimous.
we would
Yeah,
gave it to
named
him
after him.
after he hit right after he hit that shot against the Pacers. We would have just gave it to him right there. Like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
stop the game. We want
That
to
year,
already announce.
He averaged 28 points a game that year.
Ridiculous year.
He was 10th in MVP
He's
voting.
still at like 24,
NBA
25.
Yeah, no.
all
He gonna get them
NBA
buckets.
second team. That was such a great year for him.
I wonder if I'm gonna look back on that era and be like nostalgic in a way.
You will be.
I think I'm going to just look back on
the
DeMar.
first half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look back on DeMar in general, just like he going to be underrated and like after a while,
the
people
grand-
going to
yeah.
forget about him.
In the
Already.
grand scheme of his career.
And it's like he's one of them players that, again, he kind of changed his – I don't even know if about changed his game, but he just
He did
added
change-
skill and got
No, he
better.
changed his
Evolving.
game.
He just got better, and that's what let him be in the league.
Was
for
you
so
watching
long.
basketball when he first came in the league?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't – hey, when they had him, Rudy Gay, and I think they had drafted like Terrence Ross, and I think they was wearing the Army jerseys too or
Yeah.
whatever. That's when I was like, ain't nobody stopping them in transition because they
I
just
like
got
boys.
high flyers.
So now a little bit before that, before they got Rudy Gay,
yeah,
DeMar DeRozan came in as just a straight athlete dunker.
yeah.
Raw, yeah.
And
raw
so
as
when he
prospect.
when he got that jump shot, it was kind of like, whoa, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see him progress into the score, and the only reason it popped in my mind where I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be underrated, is because I made that Kevin Love build, and so I went to Kevin Love UCLA, and then DeRozan is from that same class, and his USC highlights popped up, and I'm like, look how raw and unpolished his game was, and to see who DeRozan is now is so crazy with the footwork, the mid range, the head fakes. It's like, go watch his USC highlights when you get some time. You're gonna be like, what the hell is this?
He just did Jeff Teague's podcast.
Yes,
and
he
was
did.
talking about how like his progression as an NBA player. He watched Washington Wizards Michael Jordan to become the player that he is today.
No athleticism.
Where he was like, I want to be able to play it for a long time, so I need to adjust my game when my athleticism is not that important. He's like, I still got it. Like, I still catch a body or two, but that's a small part of my game. And I watch MJ, he was still just hitting mid-range jump shots at the age of whatever age in Washington. So he did that. Also, reason why DeMar DeRozan gonna get lost is because the playoffs has been shit for him, right? And I think that once a player retires and you start thinking about grand scheme, you think about what did they do in the postseason? And obviously
moments
DeMar
too.
has not done anything in the postseason, if we're being honest with each other. But regular season-wise, I love it. I love everything about DeMar DeRozan's career.
Yeah.
It also don't help that as soon as he left the Raptors, they won that shit.
They won that
Because that was the
championship.
one place that was never going to let us forget DeMar DeRozan was Toronto. The same way they would never let us forget Vince Carter. But Kawhi's shadow, that one little year of his shadow kind of covers that up a little bit.
And actually, I'm mad at the internet because they asked him, if you still on the Toronto Raptors next
He
year,
has
do
to
y'all
say
win?
yes.
How do you expect an athlete to ever say, "Nah, man, we wasn't gonna win with
Yeah.
if I'm on the
Kawhi
team."
just better than me,
Yeah,
damn
he's
it.
so much better than me. Like, have any of y'all played a sport? I don't think you have, bro. I don't think
Most people that be on the internet that talk about sports probably have.
because I think like if me and Mike play 1-on-1, I think he beats me.
But you got to
But
go
I'm
in
never
there.
coming to the show like, yeah, Mike got me 11
Why
to
should
2.
we even play?
Yeah, right. Mike got me 11 to 2.
That's how it be in a run, the little pro-am runs. They be like, oh, we going against him? I'd be like, bro, have some pride.
That's why when you
Have
was
some
when you was
pride.
talking about the Mike Smith thing,
Yeah.
you're like, again, Mike Smith is gonna dog you. But the fact that you didn't admit to that, I'm like, that's like the mindset you should have if you're gonna have a 1-on-1, regardless. Again, Mike is gonna dog him.
He ain't say which Mike
So,
it is,
KB,
so they
listen.
gonna think it was me.
Mike Smith is going to dog Michael Hurd.
KB,
Uh-huh.
if Modest Buzelis was on this podcast, if for whatever reason we got into a conversation,
But
I'm
I
go-
think that's the next tier, though.
I'm not gonna sit up here and argue and be like, man, y'all ain't got me because Modest here. Y'all gonna take
Wait,
him?
did you say you were gonna win, or that?
No, I said I think I put up 3 points.
Yeah, like it's not. He didn't think he was gonna win the
That's
game.
far fetched to me.
It might be, but the fact that he still has to say it. He can't say, yeah, he gonna skunk me 11-1, 11-0. He can't say that.
I feel like if it was us, if
And
it
it's
was a YouTube hooper, we talking about perfect.
but also, I think it's tiers to it, though.
It's literally disrespectful because they do the same
He just signed his
amount.
contract. Shout out to Mike. He's
Yes,
going
shout out to
Pelicans.
Mike. The same amount of time we put into this, and people think they could just come do our job, and it's like that's disrespectful to think.
I
You could
think
just,
it's also a funny thing because it's like
Mike
it's,
is probably playing basketball right now.
yeah,
no.
it's
All
not
those
like
hours you playing on pro-am, we play. He is
I
actually
think it's
doing
also
it.
just funny because it's not like I mean it came out of nowhere on the podcast, but like that's been a constant. Like me and Mike always talk about playing one, and he'll be like, and I always tell him like, I'll bust your ass.
Did he
like, this-
DM you after that?
He did me.
He DM me too.
I don't think so. But like that's been an ongoing.
What
thing
was
for
y'all
years.
conversation?
He
'Cause
said,
I'm a
Mike not
read-
scoring 3, LOL. I give him one open look. If he hits it, he hits it. But that's the only look he's getting. He better make it. And I said, we got to set it up. He said, I'm not playing Mike.
So he hit me. He said, well, first he was talking about EJ. He said, yo, little bro got it. He can play for real. You know, Terrence sent me that clip. I'm crying. I say, appreciate you. And I said, and bro, why the F is Mike capping? That's my boy, but 11-0, no doubt. He said, I'm crying. He said, yeah, especially if money on the line, he not stopping me. So I agree with what you're saying, though. Yeah, you can't. But I just feel like when it comes to DeMar and Kawhi Leonard, they're peers in the same league. They put in the same amount of hours and things like that. But like,
Imagine you guarding the man that you just said, oh, he way better than me. We want to win. And now y'all match up on a random Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro.
but it's just like DeMar and Kawhi are a lot closer than Mike and Mike Smith.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
That's why I'm saying
100%.
So again, I don't think Mike should not have said, why even play him? I'm bowing down to him. But at the same time, man, LeBron get on this.
I give
move.
Mike his buckets. Somebody give him an open
See?
look.
See what I'm saying?
He gonna be mad.
You see, it's one thing to have be like, man, I'm gonna go at it. It ain't gonna be easy.
Right, yeah.
But now I'm gonna give
I'ma
his
give
ass
his
buckets.
buckets.
Now that's
You
DeMar.
know what sounded crazy,
now,
right?
That's DeMar
Right.
saying,
Some dude was talking about playing me one-on-one. He said, "I'm gonna bust his ass 11-3," and then he got his ass bust 11-3.
he got you there. I can't say no more.
But the
Literally,
funny
the
thing is,
next-
Derrick has
the-
just been chilling here this whole conversation, and you just deflected right
But
to
he's the
him.
only one I played one-on-one, so I had
I'm
to
pretty
bring
sure
that
the
up
next
for
game I
reference.
beat him 11-0, like or something like that. I literally beat you.
Oh, 11.
Wait, what?
The next game, I beat you pretty badly.
Hey,
It was like 11-1 or something like that.
Derrick.
And then the next game, I was up like 9-0.
So you left out that gym thinking you had a W on the day.
No. But
So-
I'm saying the
so-
first game you beat me
but
back,
let's
and then the
just say
second
this.
game,
Did we film that?
Let's
Yeah.
just say
It's on
this.
the internet.
Let's just
Yeah.
say this. Let's
That
just
was
say
the
this.
second one, by the way. The first one
Let's
was
just say
over in
this.
the
Let's just say this,
immediate.
okay? Let's just say this.
what?
I'm not trying to deflate anything. I'm pretty sure the only reason y'all played the second game is because we were so disappointed in that first game that we was like, y'all, we ran at the gym for like how long? It was like an hour.
like an hour,
and
2
y'all,
hours.
he bust your ass so fast. We was all pissed. And we kind of like, I don't want to say forced because we can't force y'all to do anything, but we kind of made y'all play like a second game. Is that on the internet? I don't even know if they got
It
posted.
was. We played 3 games.
Yeah, it was a 3-game
He
series.
played, I beat him the first game. That's when he did the rematch. He won that game by however many points.
Y'all played
The-
3 games?
the
I do not
third
remember
game-
3 games, by the way.
the third game-
I have no. I'm looking.
Is this
still.
when I was dressed up as a ref?
Yeah, this is
still
the
looking,
second
don't
time
worry.
we played 1-on-1. The third game is when he was up like
I
11
know.
to. He was up
The
like
only
10 to
in
3.
this video, the only thing we have is the one game.
And then we got the post-game interview.
Yeah, that was the whole video.
Yes.
14 minutes.
Which one is
But
that?
y'all was gonna play. We was trying. Either y'all played the second game and again didn't get filmed, or we tried to get y'all to play and y'all didn't play. There was another game that day, but
Oh,
it
was that the
definitely didn't
first-
get filmed.
I swear, one
That's
of them
when you
games
had
he was
dreads.
up like
you had
10.
green dreads.
He was
Yeah.
up like 10-3,
So
and I
maybe that
came
was
back.
the rematch. But in that first
The
game,
first one,
when he
it
did
wasn't-
the
it was only
talking
one
of like,
game.
I'm gonna win 11-3.
The first one was only one game.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where we was like, bro, ain't no way in hell.
So okay, I have it all. And the first time we played, you bust his ass.
Mhm.
Then a year later, we went to the gym, and y'all played again. Y'all played a 3-game series. The first game you beat him 11-1.
Derrick
Then
beat him?
yeah, and no, Mike beat Derrick. And then in this video, Pierre
You remember
was
that?
Pierre was saying you got to take some pride. Y'all got to play again. And then the second time around, Derrick won 12-4. And then they'll play one more time, and Mike came back to win 12-10.
So he beat you 11-1, not you beat him 11-1.
Mike, I mean
12-4.
Derrick was up.
You did, but your initial
Derrick was up like
statement
10-3 or
I
something.
just remember it was
He was up 9-1 in this game and lost.
So that he went 12 unanswered. I mean 10 unanswered.
Something like
Final
that.
score is 12-10.
Oh, 12-10. So wait.
I scored
11
once.
to 1
Score,
run.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had to bring it all the way back to like 10, and he scored or
Hey,
something.
both
and
of
then it had
y'all
to be
look
like-
so damn gassed in this
Yes,
game.
because that
bro.
last game, Derrick was letting the ball roll and trying
And
to
the
walk through
game
with
when
it.
his shot was a wide open 3-pointer. Like Derrick didn't even put his hand up. So like y'all was done. Y'all was done.
And the people be talking about they want to see one of them play me. Why?
Let's get back to the list.
Because I ain't gonna get gas to give up a wide open 3, Mike. I'll tell you that now.
I know.
Oh, also statistics. DeMar DeRozan shot 64% in the clutch the year before. This year he was 62%.
A little bit worse.
Hey, get on his ass. He act like he was 51% or something.
I said it was worse.
At number 2. Oh, go ahead, Derrick. I'm sorry.
Are we at number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get your number 3? Yeah, Jimmy Butler, right?
No, I did not give my 3. My
Oh, go
3 is
ahead.
Jimmy. My 3 is Jimmy. Did we get to 3? Because I
Yeah,
feel like I
you
just
were-
talked about Debo.
And we just talked.
Well,
We
that's-
talked about him too because we
yeah.
had him at number 3.
We all had him at 3. So
Who
I
your
had him
3?
number 3.
Who?
Debo. On my official list, I had Debo
Oh no,
at
that's
3.
what's happening. Mike will give his 4 and say we already talked about that. Then he'll go to his 3.
No,
But I
we
think we
talked
were
about
on
Debo
3,
'cause
though.
we
We were
had, I
on
just
3.
talked about his
Okay.
USC and all of that.
Well, 3 I had
So
Jimmy.
3 was Debo for me.
2,
Paul George.
Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George.
I
know
wanted
look
to
at
get Jimmy
PG-13.
Butler in that 2 spot.
It was
It's not really an
why.
argument after last season.
I don't
Grand
know why.
scheme, y'all know who I'm going with, but after last season,
Grand scheme, y'all know who I'm going with.
Depending on what the situation.
The situation is that you have the first pick, and these two guys are on the.
I would probably take Paul George in that case. But if I needed to win a playoff series, I'm taking Jimmy Butler.
Don't we
Against
do
who?
this to play playoffs?
Against who, though?
Huh?
Against who?
What do you mean against Paul George?
No, I'm saying Jimmy Butler to win a playoff series and what standard?
Anyone.
Are the Bucks hurt?
Against anybody.
Are the Bucks hurt or are they healthy?
Healthy.
Oh,
Shit.
I'm taking the Bucks.
Well, no, obvious. But I'm saying, like, if I needed someone to win me a playoff series between Paul George or Jimmy, taking Jimmy.
On what team?
So what's the other thing? Then?
If one want to win in the regular season, I'm taking Paul George.
Well, you're never going to just want to win in a regular season, so you're taking Jimmy
Some
Butler.
That's what I'm saying.
Some teams
Basketball.
are okay with just winning in the regular
Are
season.
you? So you're those some teams?
No.
Right.
So
so-
you going with Jimmy Butler then?
Yeah. Not for the regular season. Playoffs.
So you switching them once you get to the playoffs.
So,
You just flip
okay,
them.
let's understand
No,
this.
that's not how basketball works.
What's more important to you?
The playoffs.
So
So
who
you're going
do you
with Jimmy
value
Butler.
there?
Jimmy Butler.
Okay, then. I'm taking Paul George.
But I didn't get a playoff performance from Jimmy last year.
Okay, what about
So
the year
you take
before
that
that,
into
and the year before
consideration?
that, and the year before that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not basing off that in the rankings.
We're not talking about the rankings right now. We're talking about the two players.
Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Give me Jimmy, man.
I'm taking Paul George, man.
I'm taking Jimmy in that situation.
In what situation?
Just if I was picking one between two players to start my team, it'd be Jimmy.
Oh, to start the team. That's
Yeah.
why I'm damn sure taking Paul George. Now, if you said I'm starting I'm game 7 and I got the Clippers or the Heat,
What about game one?
give me Jimmy Butler.
Game 1 through 7.
But I
I'm
seen
He's
a
such
team-
a riser that it's like
I seen a team be built around Paul George and go neck and neck with LeBron James.
What
He
was
had
that,
in
it.
like a decade?
2011.
That's over a decade ago.
So I'm talking about
Oh,
I'm talking about their
hell no.
careers. I'm
Hell
talking about
no.
their careers. He just wanted to talk
They
about
went-
last
they
year.
went
You said we ain't
toe-to-toe.
doing the rankings.
They
right?
went toe to toe in the Eastern Conference Finals. Jimmy went toe to toe with LeBron in the finals.
and
so.
and average 40.
What that mean? It was the bubble. Paul George did the same thing, but
Paul George erased
He
the
got
bubble
his
from
ass
memory.
gamed in the
Yeah,
bubble.
he erased that from
He
memory.
blew a 3-1 lead.
yeah, he did, man. He did.
That's
He
actually
did.
crazy.
Has Paul George ever been swept?
Yes.
By Bron,
I have
right?
no idea. I'm just gonna say
I think
yes.
he got swept
I
by
just think
Bron.
That's
He
just
did?
history. I'm gonna look it up.
Really?
But I know
Bron.
Jimmy got swept by Milwaukee. That one
Yeah.
year, he was
Yeah.
awful in the playoffs.
Bro, they took turns like each and every year just busting
Sweeping
each other,
each other.
just
Yeah.
sweeping each other.
I'm pretty sure Bron.
That year made me look at my Jimmy Butler fandom. That's how bad that was. I was at a softball game watching that game on my phone. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Both of them lows. Their lows are worse because of them talking. Jimmy Butler was something I'm insanely locked in.
He did get swept by Cleveland back in 2017.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
He averaged 28 in that series on 30% from the field, 38% from
That's
the field.
how I felt with Paul George. I was like, I feel like when he's rolling, it's like Paul George is great when he's rolling.
What's
but
the
like,
seeding
he be
matchup?
having crazy lows that people be
2-7,
talking
1-8,
crazy
or
about
1-8.
him.
That's when
Oh.
LeBron was in Cleveland.
Or
2-7.
like he has these crazy highs, but his lows be so crazy, and social media don't be making it no better. Like you know,
Without the fandom,
All he got to do is not hit the side of the backboard that
Yeah.
one time.
and in all seriousness, without the fandom, I'm taking Jimmy Butler too because that's why Jimmy Butler's highs are way higher than Paul George's because Paul George, I don't know. Patrick Beverly said that's how Paul George is. He need a pat on the back. He like a Derrick Miller. So
they had a
That's exactly what Patrick Beverly said.
they had a
word
couple
for word.
months where the Clippers were rolling too.
Yeah.
Like, we kept talking about him like the
He
Clippers
was in
gonna
all
be a
NBA
secret
conversations
team.
this season.
no,
For the most part.
this is to talk about Paul George. This was a really big year for him. Playing 74 games. This is almost career year shooting the basketball, one of his career years. So I can see why Philadelphia bought into him, and I think he made the perfect decision at the right time. The Clippers didn't have the success they wanted at this age and point in his career. He's getting further and further away from Paul George as we know him to be, but he still has some eliteness. He's the second best small forward in our current, according to our rankings.
Still was an all-star.
So you take all of that, and now you go play third fiddle in the East behind Embiid and Maxey. That's a lot better than us sitting here wanting Paul George to be this insanely number 2, sometimes number 1 next to Kawhi in the Western Conference. So This is a standpoint where I'm taking Paul George.
He did shoot the free throws at 90%.
Yes.
But he's only shooting 3 a game.
Yeah, he's not. He don't attack the rim
much as he
nowhere
used to.
nearly.
He used to get to the
yeah.
rim. He used to get 7 free throws. So
How many games? Who do y'all think played more games over the last 5 seasons?
between him and
So
who?
5 seasons puts us at the start of Paul George in LA.
What,
Between
him
who?
and Jimmy?
Him and Jimmy.
Oh, Paul
Jimmy.
George.
Let's see.
I would say Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's games are getting lower and lower.
263 for Paul George in the last 5 years. Keep that in mind. 263.
263.
Jimmy Butler last 5 years. We see if Basketball Reference will load up for me. But without me doing the math myself, it looked like Jimmy Butler got more just based on the total amount.
And that include playoffs?
No, just regular season.
Okay.
Because playoffs is a whole different beast. It's taking forever, but from me doing my mental math, it looked like Jimmy Butler is going to have more. But we'll get the official numbers eventually.
Yeah. That would be surprising. Or is it just the last couple?
291.
Oh.
So
That's
the
like
last
40 more games.
So the last couple years, Jimmy Butler has just been missing.
No, because he got 58, 52, 57, 64, 60. This year was the second most games he's played
For
in the
real?
last 5
So what's
years.
Paul George
Damn.
looking
Yeah,
like
so
then?
what Paul
Because
George-
75
Paul
or
George
74.
is 48. 50,
The first year?
Yeah, 48 first year, 54 the year after that. He got a 31 year and 21, 22.
I do not remember that.
I don't
yeah.
either. Again, this year he helps it get up by the 74, but
Yeah,
that
so
one
this is not
season
even
really-
close.
Yeah,
It's not even close.
30 games.
He got
30
a big
games
he got a
crazy.
big he got a big boost because of the 74. It's really
Yeah.
essentially not even that close.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like it would be a lot closer.
Well, I
remember him
don't
missing
remember
that
him
many
having a
games.
year.
Yeah,
this year.
31
remember what
games. I do
injury
not
that
remember
was.
that year.
Maybe there's a bunch of nagging injuries.
What was the
21,
what was the
22.
Oh, was that the shoulders year? You had real bad shoulder pain.
He
in one of those
basically
years.
missed every game from December 6th to the end of the year. Like he got a couple sporadically, like 4 or 5 sporadically.
What did the end of their season look like? They lost in the play-in? That's the year they lost in the play-in, right?
That's the year that they did not make the playoffs.
Lost
so
to the Timberwolves, I think, or something?
62, 42 and 40.
Okay.
But you can't find play-in games on Basketball Reference. I couldn't tell you.
Even last night, I had to go look at DeMar DeRozan. I just had to Google Bulls play-in game.
Just show us the box score.
Yeah. And then at number 1,
The Finals MVP,
JB
Jaylen
Smooth.
Brown.
Jaylen Brown.
It's
He's-
kind of weird to see him in number 1
It
spot,
is.
but it's irrefutable based on
Yeah.
if we literally going off last season, it's indisputable.
His defensive impact is so crazy because like you see he has such a responsibility offensively, but defensively he's like, I want to guard Luka. I want to guard Luka in the biggest stage, at the biggest moments. I don't want to put this responsibility on nobody else. So if we lose, it's on me. And if he go off, it's because of me. So I love that aspect of him that he mentally has that gear that he can go into.
I love that you brought up mentally because I love the mentality he plays with. He plays with like a certain aggression that I wish a lot of other players could have. And I think his game elevates because of the aggression and because of the mentality of like he's taking on every challenge and he just got I don't know. I just like the
It's
aggression he plays
relentless.
with. Yeah, it's relentless for real.
I was thinking the same thing, and I feel like it's a good counterbalance for what like Jason Tatum, because
yeah.
Jason Tatum, not saying he can't, but he just doesn't play the same way with that aggression to always get to the rim. And I think with Jaylen Brown, you just need that consistency, especially for a team that's very jump shot heavy. You need somebody constantly getting to the paint.
Was that the Clippers' biggest issue? Is that Paul George or Kawhi?
Play too similar?
They're not that they play similar, but they're both so laid back.
Probably.
One of them had to be the yin to the yang. Somebody got to be rah-rah. Somebody got to get the dunk and say, "Watch out, little boy." That's how Brown is versus Tatum is gonna dunk on you and just he gonna flex a little bit, but nothing.
It
over
could
the
be.
top.
It could be because I mean,
Jaylen
I know
Brown
it's a
the
little
one to
bit
get
more
in
to the mix,
Draymond
but like
face.
I feel the same thing with like a current James Harden. Like he don't really help that out. Like he's gonna give you good point guard play, but he's not adding to that aggression or kind of like finding a balance with
Yeah,
them.
that was Russ's role last season.
Yeah.
And you felt that. It's weird that Jaylen Brown's 1 at the position but 2 on his team. Just the way it is. Just the way it is, man.
True.
No more talks about trading Jaylen Brown and letting him get his own team.
Oh no, he got the championship now, so he got nothing to play for. He did his part.
Go get another one.
Now, do you think they play the rest of their career together? Is that realistic with them both being in their 20s?
I don't think
The league has so much turnover that it's kind of hard to predict.
It
right
ain't
now.
got nothing to do with them two.
Yeah.
I don't think Jaylen Brown could play his whole career in Boston. He's literally kind of told us that. But now that he had a championship,
Now he can really start the one because then he tell Taylor Rooks that they were going for 5 before he was
Yes.
20-something. He's got the first one. Now you got to live up to that because Taylor Rooks don't like when you lie to her.
Why, you lied to her before?
Nope.
He's telling me, yeah, I played for the Bulls.
That's
Yeah, I
the top
played for
10
the
small
Bulls.
forwards in the league, man. Any young dudes y'all feel like might hit the list next year? Like B. Mills is a
B.
small
Brandon
forward.
Miller
B.
probably
Mills
will.
was like I wanted to put him somewhere near this list, and that could have been like an honorable mention or anything like that. But I thought he had a pretty good year for just like how he started with the summer league and how people were kind of viewing all that. I thought he turned it around real well.
Especially without having LaMelo. Like, he did it as, like, the number 1 guy essentially over there.
That's it, though. This position stinks.
It does.
I mean, it's literally like the role player list.
I like this list for that standpoint. I just think it's a good value. Yeah. I'm not buying nobody
It does
jersey on this list.
maybe think about the
besides
times where
Paul George.
the small forward used to be like that
The
spot.
one, yeah. But now all the small
LeBron,
forwards
all
play
that.
power forward.
Yeah.
That's what happened. When you get older, you age up a position.
Playing
Dario
small
Saric
ball.
is running center. Gallinari was running center. For like
But
the
that
last
wasn't
year.
Gallinari
that
got
was
that
not
torch that center, too.
predictor. That wasn't playing. Like they had no centers out there, and he just said he's a tall guy.
Yeah.
They was
That's
also going against Joel Embiid
They
that
just
night.
don't
So
move the same. So it's like hard to keep them at the perimeter. So go sit your ass down there.
It's crazy because Gallinari was at one point extremely, like, really athletic. And,
Yeah,
like,
he was.
now,
They tore their ACL.
yeah.
That was the time I hated Adidas because they had so many injuries in like a 2-year span. It was
Him,
D.
Rose,
it was
Iman
Gallinari. I'm like, I ain't never wearing no Adidas.
Mhm.
Now Adidas, call me.
Gallinari was
My
so
contract is
good,
up with my
man.
last company. call me.
Gallinari was super good, man.
It's unfortunate what injuries can do.
Was he your inspiration when you played against Mike? Who was your inspiration when you played against Mike? Let's dive
Talk
back
about
into
3
that.
years ago. And you know how old that video is, man? I had a mask on in that video.
I
That's
did
how
too.
old that video is.
I remember that. Yeah, I had dreads in that
Yes, you
first
did,
video.
Yeah.
I didn't
Crazy.
have an inspiration.
I can see.
That's probably why it ended the way it did.
The crazy thing about that game is
The
that
first one?
you literally talked way more shit than Mike. You was talking that talk. I just knew you
Which was
finna
great for
dominate.
content.
It was.
I remember we had the poll, and it was like, who do you have in the 1-on-1? And D Mills got like 75%, 80%.
Because he did all that talking like a boxer. He put a campaign together. I'm not gonna beat him.
I ain't gonna lie. I saw that poll and that shit added a lot of pressure. I was like, I was kind of nervous because I was in that game. I'm like, fuck.
Lights got too bright. Shit.
And then we did some content after. We went downtown and we shopped. We went to Stadium Goods.
Oh.
And he had the nerve to say, I lifted the day before. I'm like, no way you trying to come with an excuse after you talk all that shit
Oh man.
and you got it reversed on you. Now you and KB got to play. I've been waiting on that game.
Yep.
You
I
gonna
can't
handle
wait,
his ass?
bro.
Yeah. I got to play Rusty Buckets too.
You had your chance, didn't you?
Yeah, he was here, but like I forgot.
Did he hit you up?
Yeah, talk about.
He actually did.
What's
but-
up with these
So it was on you. It sounds
What's
like
up
No,
with
you know
these
what's
excuses
funny?
he be having?
No,
Same
you-
thing like the game. He
Oh,
told
no,
us.
that was the worst excuse
Oh,
I heard in
yes.
a minute.
Like,
that
you
was
know
the
what's
worst.
funny?
Let's address that.
No, look.
Get on
No,
his
because
ass.
it's a fucking problem. We do need to address
Yeah,
it.
get on his ass.
We
Let me
asked.
show you.
We don't give a damn
look,
about Rusty Buckets
He
right now.
said, "Would you also love to hoop?" He said he was here, and I was
Cool,
like,
cool. You
"Rusty."
told us all
and
this.
I was like, "This may sound crazy, but I just saw this." He sent that on April 4th. I responded on May 2nd.
Cool. Whatever.
Look,
Get
we
on his
trying to
ass.
play the game. We trying to get our 5 right. Pierre says, who's down to play? I put in, I'm down to run. I said, I know KB probably good for it, and I tagged everybody in the chat. I'm like, see if y'all can run. Kyron says, I'll be on, I don't know. He said something. I think John said, I'll be down to play. D Mill says, I'm eating Chipotle right now.
Oh, you talking about that?
Oh, that's
shit.
yeah. It's a couple different
I'm
instances.
Oh,
talking
you
about the
talking about
one
the
where he
just-
literally didn't show up, didn't say nothing.
That one was even crazy.
That was
'Cause
crazy.
That was
even
the
Terrence,
worst one.
Terrence had to bring it back up the next day, and I low-key forgot about it.
So KB, walk us through that one, because I see you scrolling back. Because that's the one that pissed me off. The Chipotle one was just kind of like, bro, just,
Boom. Mike said, let's hoop. He said all of us. This is just us in the group chat. It's not the homies group chat. It's us 4. And I said, give me 10. Whatever I was doing something. Derek said, I'm cooking dinner. Making some salmon and some homemade mashed potatoes.
He always cooking or eating when we ask him what he doing, by the way.
I asked him, what veggies you got? Because you can't just eat that. You need some type of veggie. He said he has some broccoli. Magnificent. You also put some shoes in the chat. Are you going for these?
Yeah.
Blue gaze, enamel, green.
I can't.
Those
wait
definitely look like some shoes I will wear.
I can't wait. Yes, I can't wait to see Darrick wear them.
So all of that
I can
happened.
see you in
It's
them
an hour later. Mike said, get your ass online at Darrick. Darrick said, I'm about to smoke. I'll be on in a second. No problem. You know, even though he's not a high-volume role player when he's sober, I can imagine what he's like when he's high. But
might be
we want
funny.
the body. We want to play with Darrick. We want Darrick on the
And
thing.
Darrick has gotten better. We've
Yes.
seen major strides. So we trying to get him to play every day that we playing. We're extending an offer to Darrick.
I hit the dagger 3.
We
the other
used
night.
to we used to just say, let's go Kyron, John, us. And if all fails, we'll hit up Darrick. But now we're hitting Darrick in the main invites.
And then 40 minutes pass, and I just put question marks. No response. An extra 30 minutes pass. I added him, which means that he got a notification. Nothing. And then an hour after that, he said, my bad. And that was the end of it. No context, didn't tell us what happened. Luckily, we found somebody to replace you.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, bro, you
Hey,
told us
you know
you'd be
what's
on in a
crazy,
second.
too?
We could have been waiting for you the whole time.
We picked up A Boogs, and A Boogs was real
He was
big.
good, yeah.
We played some tough teams.
Yes. I literally told Darrick, like, in hindsight, thank you, because we probably would have lost these
we
games.
would have probably lost some games.
But we could have been waiting around for you for 2 hours.
That,
you was
that's the
you was
thing.
MIA.
That's the shit that, like,
That drives me crazy.
yes. It's okay to not get on a game.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's the lack of communication.
But you
bothers
now
me.
doing this, and Kyron has historically done it, where all you have to say is the truth. Give me 30 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. Cooking right now. Won't be able to get on. I want to get on, but I don't know. I'm out right now. I ain't at home.
You know what's the worst part, though?
Kyron to tell you 10 minutes, knowing he has at least 30 minutes. Knowing that he's
this my thing, P. If it's like maybe like it's just me, you, and Kyrie, we about to play park, whatever, cool.
the fives.
Yeah. It's like if it's just maybe one or two people and like your time messed up, whatever, we'll move on. But when you got 5 people waiting to play, you got people waiting. You got a bunch or 4 people waiting to play. You got a bunch of people trying to run in the tournament, and you telling me like I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Right.
We waiting on you.
Mike got a stream going. The stream is us playing Pro-Am, and we waiting. Hey, you know what's funny? We all got off, right, yesterday.
Yeah.
As soon as y'all got off, doing,
Yeah,
I
I
saw
low-key
that.
seen that message. I seen the notification on my phone.
and he said, everybody got off? I said, bro, you came literally 10 minutes too late.
Yeah.
Because as soon as John got off, John said, yeah, tell D Mills. And we was like, yeah, hopefully D Mills get on. KB said, he said he was getting on. And we waited, and we waited. And before you know it, I looked at the clock. I said, yeah, I'm not waiting, bro. I got work tomorrow. I'm not going to have my dog just laying
And it's
sleep
so
in the
crazy
office.
because all you got to do is just say how it is, and you avoid all that.
Because we either wait, if we know you got to be 12 minutes, everybody say, oh, okay, cool. Or we all can just get off. But yeah, waiting.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up another conversation.
What was this other conversation?
Don't ever do no foul shit like that again, bro.
What'd I do?
You hit his car.
Now you just make
I
it-
No, the other thing I wanted to bring up was the build. You had put like a build in the Snapchat.
Oh, the 6'10" power
yeah,
forward.
what that was.
I was trying to be KB's Evan Mobley, the Jared
Ooh.
Allen.
I kind of did something similar. I made Kevin Love,
Okay.
but I didn't get a chance to play with KB.
Yeah.
I played with John. It was
Oh,
cool.
okay.
We lost on some bullshit, but
Because I was trying to make Giannis, but then I realized Giannis seemed a little unrealistic. So then I was starting, maybe I should dumb it down a little bit and go Evan Mobley.
Actually, I think that's not a too bad of a like thought process.
I don't think it's bad either.
because when
you dropped it in the chat, I missed this.
it was in the
Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I also be thinking about how your play style is. It's like it's not just gonna be the build that just have you turned on the court. Like you got to actually be able to play like that person. And I
Yeah.
just ain't even seen that.
He getting better. Like I said, I want you to play any position you want to play. But when you be saying you want to make a point guard or a center, I'm just keeping it honest. Those are the builds that just have to be there. So when we text you and you tell me I'm eating Chipotle right now, no, I'm not getting on tonight. Even though
I wouldn't mind playing. I like playing center too.
Center's a fun place. Just
It's
don't
not
have
too
to do
bad.
it
I want
full time.
us to have our own little twin towers.
That's the same. I swear it's the same thought process I had. Like, if you can control the glass on that game, I feel like your odds go up so much.
Puma just dropped a golf shoe.
I
Puma?
couldn't even imagine it.
Nasty.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
it's big
Why
as
does that look
hell.
like
Why
an
is it so-
ACG boot?
Yeah, it does. That
Oh,
mug
my
bulky.
goodness. They
What?
crazy.
That legitimately looks like an ACG boot. That is
Oh,
crazy.
man. Y'all want to talk about football?
Yeah, I'm 2-0. Me and you into 2-0.
2-0, my guy.
Shout
I
out to y'all.
feel.
Feel great, man. Feel great. Top
Can't
scorer
relate.
this week. But I know I'm enjoying. I mean, I know we all are, but like really watching these games, bro. More than just like I'm following HN because he's on my team, but like really watching these games.
Did you
was
buy the football
super fun.
pass? I know.
I
I
sure
talked to
did.
them and they didn't.
Yeah, it's on this TV if y'all ever want to come here and watch all the football games.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And on the other TV in the other room. So
I was close too.
So we can have some privacy too.
I thought
Watching a football game?
he been making comments like this a lot.
I'm sure.
You're not having fun at home or something.
You great.
He said something.
hey, yeah, because I just remember something you said the other day.
But anyways, I thought I was buying it. I definitely thought I was buying. I went on my phone and I said, "Oh yeah, my YouTube TV gives me that ad."
Hella
Clicked on
expensive.
that, said 5 something. I said 5 what?
Yeah. How about the
I
same
like
way?
football, but I don't love it. 5 what? Oh yeah, I'm cool.
I said that's a commitment right there.
that is.
That's a commitment.
That
Red
is.
zone is probably way more worth it than because the games I care about the most are going to be on TV because it's a Bears game. But like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was worth it.
The Bears
It's
games
probably
have
not.
been lit, like where everybody in the Discord that we just been talking about, or just
Yeah, I
even if
missed
it's
it
in the
this
group
week, yeah.
chat and we just talking about it. It's been super fun. Like the Caleb Williams experience, the defensive experience. Like
I
it's
hate,
all,
I hate the narrative that the internet tries to push on Caleb.
Talk to me about it.
Why are people so quick to throw out the buzzword so fast?
Uh,
It's so crazy. Like you see it with NBA too.
Mhm.
Like guys come out as rookies and they have a struggle and they call them bust immediately. And it's like, what do you expect guys to do? It's supposed to be a transition period into the next tougher competition.
because people get spoiled. We got spoiled with Luka. NFL got spoiled with CJ Stroud being amazing immediately. It's like, oh my God, if you're a top pick and you're not the greatest quarterback of all time. But I mean, there are some things about Caleb Williams that should be criticized for sure.
Yeah.
He underthrew a lot of passes. He tried to make some work when it wasn't there, like it was college. But also, his offensive line is dog shit.
Yeah.
They said he got pressured 36 times on 42 dropbacks.
yes.
Like, what? I don't know a quarterback that's going to be successful in that.
I really do be thinking people just talk because the Wi-Fi free. I think people. I really go on Twitter and I be like,
And he already is going to have a group of people that just hate him based on his aesthetic and the
Yeah.
way he presents himself. So those dudes are just going to pile on. That's why I'm rooting for him so heavily. Not just because he's a Bears fan or a Bears player, but I want people to feel like, I mean, him paying
We
his
can
nails
accept
is not,
everybody.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
But
not that big of a
my
he
deal.
would be
thing-
attention seeking on the
he
internet.
just be
too.
having
He could have had a great start and it was still gonna be people say some shit.
None of the rookie quarterbacks look good right now.
I know he just be having like one or two like super good passes. I'm like, that's my
Well,
quarterback.
he had a
right.
hell of a start. That first half was
Yeah,
different.
compared to
You know
what
what it
he
was?
started off like
They
4.
weren't sending the blitz.
We just
Anytime they
couldn't-
didn't send the blitz,
Yeah, they
he
said
made
they
something
wasn't
happen.
gonna blitz, and then they was like, "Oh, we can."
Also, the offensive coordinator won't throw the ball more than 10 yards. It's like screen pass here. It's a check down. It's this and that.
I see why though.
His arm is not really living
But
up to it. But the line doesn't hold
yeah,
up enough.
when-
Yeah, I guess
That's kind of like how I felt when I played Madden. When we was playing Madden for those 2 days, I couldn't do long development routes because by the time they going into their route, I'm getting sacked.
You said for
Yeah.
those 2 days. That we said.
Yeah, we ain't even. I ain't
I'm
like the other
I
day,
haven't
like,
seen Mark,
Yeah.
Mike pull up Madden and
No, the
I was
last time I
putting
talked
money
about
into that game.
damn.
the last time I talked about Madden was the first week of football. It was that Thursday night. I was like, somebody. It was like Kamari and some guy named Isa that I be playing Madden with. I was like,
Shout out
we
to
could
Isa.
load it up. We could load it up. But after that, I ain't never had the urge to kind of play it again.
Unfortunately, that was
Same.
your baby.
Don't think I ever will either.
The
Will you
defense
play
is real for the
NCAA
Bears,
again?
though.
happened?
I haven't touched NCAA since
Oh, I haven't touched
2K
it either.
came out
Which
either.
is- yeah.
And
It's
I was
so
playing
fun, though.
heavily. Yeah, it is.
I will go
I
back
feel
to
like
it. I think.
NCAA is such a fun game. If we had like the system right here, we could load up and play against each other type stuff.
I do.
We
too.
didn't do that three thing again. Like where it's like us,
Oh,
me, you,
oh.
KB.
He's talking about
Yeah.
the squads.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
we didn't do that again.
Just because y'all got y'all ass cooked by Mike Evans.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
they,
I'll never forget watching
they,
that shit.
you know, they nerfed that play too. Like,
Oh, they did?
You know what's
yeah.
funny? The first week of college football, somebody ran that and scored.
If it was gonna be anywhere, it should be in college football.
Any other NFL stuff? Kirk Cousins had a good game. because I was a little afraid for him.
first
after
week, he
one.
I don't necessarily have NFL stuff, but it's NFL because it relates to our fantasy. And we talked about it in the pre-show a little bit, but I cannot wait to see where this league is going to go because we have so many guys who I think should be panicking, not panicking, because they don't. Everybody is so hell-bent on getting quote-unquote finesse that it's so. Reese is constantly talking to me about, I ain't letting nobody finesse you. Bro, nobody is trying to. The people going to send a dumbass trade, you just reject it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just inquiring about a player. First response, I'm just not finna let you finesse me. Huh? You sound like you.
Sound like a dude that be getting finesse.
Yeah. What the hell?
It's not happening this time.
I honestly don't. Same thing with the way Darrick was talking. I'm like, I had to remind Darrick, I do not want anybody on your team, brother. I do not want Jamar Chase. I promise you I don't want him. I'm not saying anything I'm saying because I want the player. Yeah. At least I don't want him right now. In 2 weeks, I don't know who I want. But
I was trying to make deals. I just didn't
you
think
told me specifically, man, I'm cool. I'm good. Once Puka come back. It's the first 2 weeks. I ain't got to panic. Then I said, KB, how many points he scored this week?
47.
Sound like somebody that should panic to me.
Well, yeah, my mindset is if I don't have a trade on the table that I like, I'm not going to just take a deal. I'm going to just wait on my players to get healthy, and then I'm going to see what I got.
Nobody's telling you to take a trade you don't want to trade, but I'm also telling you, because I want to see the league be competitive, if you don't have a trade out there, maybe you should go make a trade. Maybe you should see you sitting on your hands like you 2-0.
He did offer me a trade last night. It was
you
dog
said
shit.
It was dog shit, right?
I offered a trade to Kyron for CMC.
He's not gonna make a trade because he's 2-0.
The only reason I did it for CMC
fake ass 2-0
is because he's not playing. So maybe he be like, shit, I'll take this.
He said in the voice in the Discord, he said he's just gonna wait for him to get healthy.
I mean, it's working for him so far. I mean, CMC was in his lineup this week with 0 points
and he won.
So he's losing this.
He's not a guy that should panic.
Yeah.
He's 2-0. He let people like you come trade to him. But if you're the opposite, you gotta be like Mike. Mike said I sent a trade to every team that lost this week. You should do that to every team in the league because you scored 47 points, brother.
And you got some high value players over there.
Alvin Kamara scored more than 47 by himself.
KB set you up and told you he would give you who was it? Carbonet.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kenneth Walker went down.
And Carbonet had a really good game.
And you straight up said, no, I'm cool. Because you so stuck on thinking somebody finesse you. Yo,
I'm not thinking it's going to be a finesse.
Last year you made a bad trade.
No,
but that's because Anthony Richardson got hurt. Don't let Terrence trolling you make you scared to get a trade.
That's not why I'm thinking.
Then talk to me, baby.
Why would I trade for Carbonet when I have his number one running back?
The number one guy is injured.
He's gonna come back soon. Like it's not like he's out for the season.
How long is he out?
It's a week or two. Right now he's out. He's considered out for next week. But like he's not a permanent out.
This is why.
So then I make that trade, right? I give up a value. I now have Kenneth Walker. That dude's production is gonna drop because Kenneth Walker's gonna get majority of the snaps.
What did he ask for?
I don't remember what he asked for.
Right. It wasn't that significant because if it was Jamar Chase or something significant,
I think it was Jamar Chase.
It was.
You'd be able to say,
it was.
Yeah, you didn't remember Jamar Chase?
Yeah. He sent me a trade yesterday with Carbonet and for Jamar Chase.
But yes, he said it yesterday?
It was two players involved in it.
You said it yesterday?
Yesterday we had a new conversation.
I remember when he first initially did that. We came up here. I said, he crazy as hell. And KB said, no, I was just doing some shit. But Carbonet is available. So I don't know if he went against that statement.
He offered me a trade that was James Conner from Arizona, and then one of my wide receivers, I think it was Zay Flowers.
That's the one I was.
Because Zay Flowers had a good week?
Yeah. Shout out to Zay Flowers.
Because you ain't asked for Zay Flowers after the first week.
He ain't know who Zay Flowers
All I was saying to him, because I just don't have James Conner's one of those dudes that it would take a God offer to take away from me because I don't have the depth at that position.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's reformulate this, and I'm going to send him another trade, which was Carbonet instead. I wasn't saying it was a great offer, but it was the offer I had on the table right there.
And then I countered it.
And what'd you counter with? Oh, you put DeAndre Swift in it?
Yeah.
All I'm saying, Darrick, hear me clearly. I'm not telling you to take a trade you don't want to trade.
Yeah.
But when your counter argument is, why would I get him? He's hurt.
I still don't understand that logic.
You don't?
Okay,
no.
So what?
You see, he said he's out 3 to 5 weeks.
3 to 5 weeks.
Do you know I'm up in the league because I have Jordan Mason?
Yeah, which is Christian McCaffrey's backup. But you didn't have to trade for him.
No, I didn't.
You didn't lose anything.
But you know, if I put him on a block right now, how many people would trade for him? If I put him on a block right now, our whole league jumps off and say, what you want for him? I guarantee you.
But they're not going to give you up anything significant.
What? Is you crazy?
Why would
Carbonate
they
in week
do that?
one.
Because
week one.
Because Christian McCaffrey's going to come back, and guess what? His production is going to significantly drop, and then they're going to look at that roster like, damn.
But you got to think about it like this, Derek.
Is it just like a temporary rental?
Yes.
Yes, because we are playing, it's 18 weeks, but we really playing, 14 weeks? Because we got the playoffs. You need to make the playoffs, brother. You waiting on some dude to come back in week 8. You start off on 7, you have a 0% chance of making it.
That's exactly
so you
what you
buy
want
to try to just maintain something until Kenneth Walker, again, it don't have to be Carbonate, but until Kenneth Walker and Puka does come back. You're just trying to stay afloat. You're not trying to win the league right now.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure that you don't have 47 points next week.
And am I saying somebody's going to give me Justin Jefferson for who was I just
Mason?
talking about? Yeah, for Mason. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there are going to be people that are going to want him because, like KB said, for these next 3, 4, potentially even 5, Christian McCaffrey, they saying got a Achilles and calf problem. Who knows if he's really when he's going to be able to come back? Because they didn't even want to tell us that. They told us that because they had to.
They was on that Zion Williamson shit.
So we don't really know how bad it is, but we know that those two things, especially for somebody who's running and getting their ass tackled every single play, that's an extremely cautious thing to do. Jordan Mason may ride this season out until the playoffs come because it's like, you know.
Here's my one takeaway from every single game in football that I watched last week or this week. First one, my dad cannot stop saying Justin Fields is 2-0.
Neither can my dad. My dad got on the phone and talked about Justin Fields, and I thought
and it was check down after check down. He had one throw that was.
I thought he was joking. Yeah, on the run.
Yeah.
I thought he was joking, but he was really like talking about Justin Fields.
Chiefs bailed again.
That was so bad.
Marvin Harrison
Pierre?
Jr. is really that dude, and I'm mad that John declined my
Did you
trade for him last week.
Did you put Kyler in there too?
Of course.
Hey,
Shout out to my boy Kyler.
Kyler getting it done. Short Kings, man.
Stand up. Next one.
Do it again next week.
Brock Bowers is the best tight end in football.
Trey McBride would like to speak to him.
Bryce Young getting benched sucks. The Cowboys stink. Last week they beat the Cleveland Browns, who also stink, and then this week they played against a real offense and gave up 44 points. I didn't watch this next game.
Shout out to Derek Carr.
Yes, shout out to Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara and Rashid Shaheed.
That's all I got.
I don't want to talk about Rashid Shaheed.
Like right now, I would have interest in Rashid Shaheed, but I don't think Rashid Shaheed is getting 70-yard touchdown receptions every week.
Chris Godwin in the slot is wide receiver 1.
I just don't think that.
Bro, did you hear Kyron talking about him yesterday?
What did he say?
Bro, when he was like, I got God on my team.
Oh, that was 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago.
He said, I got God on my team. He's like, what did you talking about? He said, Chris Godwin. He was like, bro, his last name is Godwin. He was like, he a Godwin. He on that
way
field.
He playing right now. He
like Kyron, bro.
But yeah, Cooper Kupp out.
How long is he out?
Oh man, he's out about probably 4 weeks.
Yes, damn. It's gonna be a minute. Sam Darnold, pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he's on his thing. I got so many wide receivers. I just don't know which one to
Came
replace
a long
him
way
with.
from seeing them ghosts.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say.
I was seeing ghosts.
Shout out to the Jets, man. Only the Jets would have somebody seeing ghosts.
I didn't get to watch Aaron Rodgers this week. He had 2 touchdowns. I see Garrett Wilson only had 4 catches, so I don't know exactly what to think about that.
I think
I just know Will Levis sucks.
You said who?
Will Levis.
He looks real good that first
Shout out
half.
that first half of week
First
1.
half against the
Shout out to
Bears.
Gia Duddy, man. Shout out to Gia Duddy. Every time that name come out.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Derek, Mike, 0-2 teams. I mean, teams that just
I'm
lost.
1-1.
You 1-1. Hit me up, man. I might be on the market for a flex player.
I was saying your team stink.
It stinks.
He sent me a trade this morning and I almost threw up.
He sent me.
Did you not hear what I said? I said I sent everybody that lost that week a trade. I looked at Austin's team and said, I can't send him a trade. Anyway, I send him a trade, I'm probably I'm taking a step back on my team.
What you want for Garrett Wilson? What do you? I just said, what do you want for him?
Y'all do this after
Mike,
the
what
pod
you
because
got?
he don't have a mic.
I mean, Jacob Dobbins is
What you want for him?
Let me look at your team again.
You said you wanted Rasheed Rice.
I would be willing to take that.
Rasheed Rice is not a 1-for-1 guy though. I'm telling you now.
I'm okay with a 2-for.
KB put somebody on the block.
Yep.
I'm letting people know that Carbonate is available. If they want good production for the next 3 weeks, Carbonate is the guy. If you need some running back
Where's his
production,
asking price?
I'm not sure. It depends on the team and the person I'm talking to.
It depends on the team. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought people be trying to get better. What you want?
Because everybody has a different team. I'm not going to ask you for a running back if your running back course sucks.
Say JK one of my bench receivers.
No, thank
Actually,
you.
not even past that. I mean, honestly, anybody but Tyreek Hill. That's where I was like. Brandon Ayuk been cool.
Are you
Jerry Jeudy been
any a bit
aight.
worried about Tyreek Hill production now that two is out?
Nah, they just
for some
signed
time?
a backup too for
Who'd they get? Oh, Tyler Huntley?
something like that. So hopefully he could be a little bit more productive. And I don't know. We'll see what happens with Tua. Hopefully he's not gone for a crazy amount.
Hopefully he is. I'm actually thinking about him more than I'm thinking about football. Please step away. Because that don't look good.
Give me Brian
Didn't
Robinson.
this?
Give me
Oh,
Brian
maybe that was Patrick
Robinson.
Mahomes. I was like, I felt like since he had a concussion last year. I feel like.
Yeah, he had a few.
Let me
Yeah.
get Brian Robinson and J.K. Dobbins for Rasheed Rice.
Let me look to see. Let me ponder on it.
Ponder on it.
If y'all enjoyed this episode of Numbers on the Board, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back on Saturday with another banger. And the next week, that power forward list that is so crazy, we will be ranking them. We'll see y'all there.
Peace.
Kyle Kuzma top 2.